It is week number 3 of the high school football season, and tonight, the Lions of First Baptist Academy from Naples, Florida, made the long, and I mean long, trek up north to Titletown to take on your two-time defending state champion Chardon Hilltoppers. How you doing, everyone? Matt Jaworski, Ryan Radke with you as we get you set for this one. And Ryan, Toppers are facing today potentially their toughest opponent all season long.
Yeah, and so far it feels like we're saying that every week because this is a tough start to the schedule, and it continues this week. It's one of the better programs from down in Florida making the trip up here to take on the Hilltoppers, and there's a lot of talent out there, a lot of athleticism on this team from down in Florida. So the Hilltoppers are going to have their work cut out for them again. That's been the case the first 2 weeks, and they're 2-0, but it doesn't get any easier here as we get into week 3 of this schedule. It's another tough one for Chardon.
Indeed it is. The streak's on the line this afternoon, a Saturday afternoon affair here from Toppertown. Folks, we're going to pause, take a timeout. When we come back, we'll have more pregame festivities after this on GTV.
Yeah, woohoo!
The Chardon Hilltopper Gridiron Club, in association with GTV, proudly presents Chardon Hilltopper Varsity Football. Today's game is brought to you by the Chardon Smile Center, Roniak Paving, Burr Funeral Home and Cremation Service, El Patron Mexican Grill and Cantina, Hazen Asphalt, Paving and Seal Coat, The Arms Trucking Company, Realtor Beth Felger at Keller Williams Realty, Patai and Mark F. Burr Funeral Homes, Dan McCaskey and Terry Combs, the McCaskey Team, Remax Traditions, the Junction Auto Family, Conic Law LLC, Brock Construction, Precision Orthopedics, Ash's Mayfield Window Cleaning Company and the Chardon Athletic Boosters, and by GTV.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Today we recognize our senior band members class of 2023. Can we give them a hand in advance? They've been through 2 different band directors, a couple years of COVID marching band, and it's a nice big group, and we are very proud of them. Our first senior is James Ambrose. His parents are Paul and Kim Ambrose. He's been in marching band for 4 years in our snare drum line, and he plans to attend Kent after graduation. Our next senior is Nathan Bender. His parents are Tracy and Blair Bender, and he's been on the drum line for 2 years. His plans, it's very early for us to be doing this, his plans are currently undecided for next year. Our next senior is Lucy Bourne. She's been in marching band for 4 years and is being escorted by her parents, Andy and Sandy Bourne. She is a flute squad leader this year and plans to attend a 4-year college majoring in social work. Our next is Marissa Bresnay. Her parents are Barb and Marty Bresnay, and she's been in our clarinet section for 4 years. She's a squad leader, our section leader, and also a spirit leader. Marissa will be attending a 4-year college and majoring in art. Our next senior is one of our fabulous Topperettes, Abigail Carson, escorted by her parents, Teresa and Bruce Carson. She's a 4-year member of the Topperettes and plans on majoring in chemical engineering at hopefully the Ohio State University. Our next senior, we are very happy to have him, is Jack Cole, escorted today by parents Cole. Jack has been in marching band for 2 years in our snare drum line and plans to attend college after graduation. Our next senior is Phoenix Delaria, escorted by his parents, Rochelle and Joe Delaria. Phoenix has played sousaphone in the marching band for 4 years, is our brass captain, tuba squad leader. After graduation, he plans to attend Blackbird Academy for live sound engineering. Our next senior is Hazel Detweiler. She is escorted today by her father, Greg Detweiler. She's been in our saxophone section for 4 years and plans to attend Bowling Green University and major in marine biology. Our next senior is Mason Phil, walking the 50 today with his parents Bob and Marie Phil and his sister Sylvia. Mason has been on drumline for 4 years and is our drumline captain and a squad leader this year. He plans to have a career in the automotive industry. Our next senior is Jake Gabanik, escorted today by his parents Bob and Sue Gabanik. He's been in marching band for 4 years and is a sousaphone section leader and squad leader. He will be pursuing a technical career after graduating from Chardon High School. Our next senior is Grace George, escorted by her dad Thomas George and her mom Lisa George. She has been in marching band for 3 years as one of our fabulous toprettes and plans to make creative writing or possibly go into entertainment. Molly Gillis has been a toprette for 3 years and is walking the 50 today with her parents David and Jennifer Gillis. After graduating from CHS, Molly plans to attend a 4-year college to major in English. Our next senior is Delaney Hagan. And I've got her little bio on my phone. So here we go. She is walking the 50 with her mom, Denise Hagan, and next year attending the Cuyahoga East Vocational Education Consortium. This is her 4th year in band playing the shaker in line. Let's give a hand for Delaney Hagan. Our next senior is Marina Hall. Marina is being escorted by her parents, Ashley and Frank Hall. She's been a member of our clarinet section for 4 years and is a squad leader and our spirit leader. She plans to go to college for art after graduating from CHS. Our next senior is one of our also fabulous majorettes. This is Hallie Hemley, being escorted by her parents, Jim and Angie Hemley. Hallie has been a majorette for 4 years and plans to attend New York University for health science. Alexis and Mason Yonke are being escorted by their parents, Andy and Greg Yonke. They have been toprettes for 4 years, and their leadership positions are senior. Alexis plans to go to the Ohio State University, and Mason will also be going to Ohio State University. Let's have a hand for the Yankees. Our next senior is Bryson Juker, walking with his parents, Heather and David Juker. Bryson's been in marching band for 4 years on the drum line and plans to attend Kent Geauga after graduation. Our next senior is another fabulous major, Faith Kilfoyle, escorted by her parents, Charlie and Boyle. She's been in marching band for 4 years and plans to attend a 4-year college and major in elementary education. Our next senior is Jeremy Kosier. Let's give a hand for Jeremy. And he's being escorted today by his friends, Mason Phil and Bryson Juker. Jeremy's been in marching band for 3 years. This year he plays the quints. He's one of our drumline captains, and next year plans to attend the University of Toledo for environmental engineering. Thank you, parents. Our next senior is Betsy Lessick, escorted by her parents Stephanie Lessick and George Lessick and her little brother Wyatt. She's been in marching band as one of our fabulous toprettes for 4 years, and after graduating from CHS, she plans to major in nursing and become a trauma nurse. Our next senior is a member of our drum line on the snare line. This is Zach Malone, escorted by his Jen and Corey Malone. He's been a snare drum squad leader this year, a 4-year member of drumline, and plans to go to Lakeland with an associate arts degree. Our next senior, I call them our sparkle people. Lily Marmish is being escorted by her mom and stepdad, Lori and Chris. We've been happy to have her in marching band for 2 years. After graduating from CHS, she plans to attend college to study criminal justice. Our next senior is Mia McCown. She is being escorted today by her mom, Jennifer McCown. Very happy to have her as a top rep for here. And after graduating from CHS, Mia plans to attend a four-year college. Our next senior is Taylor Myers, escorted by her mother, Christina McClure, her father, Andrew Myers, and there's two little brothers, but I have brother Nathan, and who's the other one? Austin Myers. We have a special announcement for her senior project, but she plans to enlist in the Air Force National Guard and will be attending a four-year university to study early childhood education. But for Taylor's senior project, she's running a food pantry located at Mel Harder Park on September 16th at the Mayfield game. Please bring non-perishable foods or cash to donate for those in need. The drop box at the September 16th game will be located at the south entrance of the field. Thank you very much. Our next senior is Paige Mells, escorted this afternoon by her mom, Cindy Nels, and her grandmother, Peg Nels. Paige has been in marching band for 4 years. She's been a squad leader, our clarinet section leader, woodwind captain, and spirit captain. After graduating, she plans to attend a four-year college to major in theater and psychology. Our next senior is Ryan O'Reilly, a member, very popular member of our drum line, who's been in marching band for 4 years. He's walking with Becky and Jim and Rudy O'Reilly. After graduation, Ryan plans to attend Kent Geauga. Our next speaker is Gabriella Simielli, walking the 50-yard line with her parents, John and Tracy Simielli, and her brother, AJ. Gabriella has been a top rep for 4 years and has been on the dance team for all 4. She plans to attend college for nursing after graduating from CHS. Our next senior is Allison Stupai, being escorted by her mom, Julie Stupai, and her dad, Adam Stupai. She's played saxophone and marching band for all 4 years and has served as a squad leader and a section leader. After graduating from CHS, Allison plans to go to a 4-year university. Our next senior is, I think, our last majorette for today. We're losing a lot of majorettes this year. Julianne Sweet has been in marching band for 4 years. She is escorted today by her mom, Mary Ellen Sweet, and her sister, Rosemary. After graduation, Julianne plans to attend a 4-year university and study medicine. Our next senior is Maya Thomas. Let's see if I have the whole crew here. She's escorted by her mom, Jen, her dad, Aaron, her stepdad, Adam, her stepmom, Carrie, her siblings, Will Squires, Chloe, and Connor Thomas. Did I get them all? She's been in marching band as a top rep for 3 years, and after graduating from CHS, she plans to study psychology at Ohio University. Our next senior is Emily Tomash, percussionist extraordinaire, being escorted by her parents, Jennifer and Clay Tomash. Emily's been in marching band for 4 years and is our squad leader for the Quint section. After graduating from CHS, she plans to attend college and either study secondary education or environmental science. Our next senior, Brianna Wentz, is escorted by her mom, Michelle Plummer, and her dad, Darren Wentz. Brianna has been a member of our flute section for 4 years and is our flute section leader this year. After graduating from CHS, Brianna plans to go to college to be a veterinary technician. Last but not least, we were very happy when this girl showed up with a friend. I think it was the Kilfoyles last year at Topperette tryouts. I think she was, were you on drill team or cheerleader at your old school? She was a cheerleader in Virginia, right? She went out for Topperettes last second at the encouragement. And this is Abigail Robluski, escorted by her parents, Michael and Michelle Robluski. As I mentioned, she's been in marching band for 2 years on the dance team as a topperette. After graduating, Abigail plans to further her education at a 4-year college and earn her Bachelor's of Science in Aviation Management. Parents, could we have a huge round of applause for all of our band seniors?
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Introducing the 2022 Chardon Hilltopper Marching Band. The band will be led onto the field by Junior Field Commander Evan Kuhl. All right, Topper fans, put your hands together for the Chardon High School Fight Song. Parents, please enter the field and stand by your son or daughter. This afternoon, the Hilltopper Marching Band would like to recognize all of our awesome band parents. We appreciate all your support, including renting and purchasing instruments, coming to concerts, listening to us in practice, volunteering for the band, chaperoning, and fundraising. Without the support of our outstanding parents, we would not have our great band program. Let's have a hand for all of our band parents. Would you now please stand if you're able, and gentlemen, remove your hats as we honor our country with the national anthem, and please remain standing for the Chardon High School alma mater. Let's have one more hand for our band parents as they exit the field. Band parents, please exit the field now. Okay, football fans, shout hey as the band plays the Hey Song.
The Chardon Hilltopper Gridiron Club, in association with GTV, proudly presents Chardon Hilltopper Varsity Football. Today's game is brought to you by the Chardon Smile Center, Roniak Paving, Burr Funeral Home and Cremation Service, El Patron Mexican Grill and Cantina, Hazen Asphalt, Paving and Seal Coat, The Arms Trucking Company, Realtor Beth Felger at Keller Williams Realty, Patai and Mark F. Burr Funeral Homes, Dan McCaskey and Terry Combs, the McCaskey Team, Remax Traditions, The Junction Auto Family, Conic Law, LLC, Brock Construction, Precision Orthopedics, Ashes Mayfield Window Cleaning Company, and the Chardon Athletic Boosters, and by GTV.
And here come your two-time defending state champion Chardon Hilltoppers. Ryan, a very tough task ahead this afternoon for the home team.
Yeah, absolutely. This is going to be a tough one today as the Hilltoppers take on the Lions, but they're ready to go. You know, you're going to get down in the trenches. You're going to have a tough one today, but every week is tough on the Hilltoppers' schedule, and you know they're ready for it.
Well, this prepares them for next week, which I don't want to get into right now, but let's just say it's a big game in Painesville Township next week.
Yeah, you know, you got to take it 1 week at a time. But this is, right, this is your final tune-up before you get into the conference play schedule of your season. So, you know, it's time to get out there and go. You know, the Hilltoppers have had a good non-conference schedule, stiff competition throughout, and it will have them prepared for those tough in-conference matchups they have coming.
Well, and it also prepares them for farther on down the road as well. But again, Ryan, as you pointed out, it's about tonight, or this should say this afternoon first. Used to saying night games, but second week in a row, we've got a Saturday afternoon game.
Yeah, and when you look at the situation unfolding, you know, very fortunate. Earlier in the week, you were thinking about 90 degrees. We still have that humidity and the mugginess, but the cloud cover has kept us in the low 80s. So the players will have to stay hydrated. They'll have to be ready for those muggy conditions, but not going to be as hot as we thought. Hopefully that sun beating down won't be as much of a problem as we would have thought earlier in the week today.
Can only imagine the kids over on the other sideline from Florida. They're probably thinking, boy, this must be like a the North Pole or something up here. It's not 115 degrees.
Yeah, I was going to say the humidity is still much less than Florida, but look, it's not that big a deal for these kids from Chardon either. I mean, if you remember, the weeks of camp this summer were very humid, so they've been working out in it, and they're a group of guys that is ready for every snap. So I don't expect the weather to be too big of a factor today. The players will take care of themselves. The coaches will make sure everyone's hydrated. Everything on that front will be good to go.
Well, the Toppers will be kicking off to begin this game. It's their preferred method. And folks, this Chardon team this season, and Ryan, we spoke about it last week, and last week they faced a team with a lot of Division I recruits. This team, however, has a lot of Power 5 recruits.
Yeah, and this is look, this is a good team. This is a team coming. Florida is, like Ohio, a hotbed for high school football talent, and there's a lot of it down there, and this team is certainly loaded with it. There's some great athletes out there, a couple of wide receivers you have to watch, good running back, a really active linebacker on the defensive end. This is going to be a tough matchup for the Hilltoppers, a good test.
Now ball falls off the tee. So that means Joseph Evans going to put it back on. They'll reset. Preston Schmansky back deep to receive for the Lions. Good kick. This one will go on the end zone, but flags are flying to start this one.
And we'll wait and see what the call is. This will be a legal procedure against the Hilltoppers, so the kick from the 35 instead of the 40. Legal formation is the call.
Well, unfortunately, if that kickoff had been good, the Lions would have faced the touchback. So now Evans got to dig a little bit deeper to boot this one into the end zone. Good kick, Schmansky watching it. Going to take a bounce. He fields it left side, 5, 10, 15, has a gap. Up near the 30, and that's where he is tackled. So, out comes sophomore Ethan Cross and company. Ryan, I mentioned this to you in a phone call earlier this week. You know a team is good when they don't even bother listing height and weight on their roster. Now, I could also take that another way too, but I've seen a lot of good teams do it as well.
Yeah, and you look down there, certainly this is a big group as their offense takes the field. And this is the second week in a row the Hilltoppers are going to go against the young sophomore quarterback here.
Make no mistake about it, Crossan actually has an offer from Ole Miss right now. Going to hand it off to their big power back going up the middle, and that is Jaden Booker. Booker, a senior, sitting with offers from that school up north in Penn State.
You mentioned it. You're going to hear a lot of these players that have offers already on the table from some big schools for this Lions team.
Toppers moving some personnel around as the Lions will send 3 receivers out to the left, 1 near side. Olsen Henry, the senior who's going to Clemson next year. Cross, I'm going to hand it off again. 1 broken tackle, and that's it. Booker got stopped short. Going to bring up 3rd down.
Nice job in there by Fetchick to come in and get the stop after Booker broke that initial tackle. Fetchick was right there to get the stop. Fetchick had a nice week last week, and he comes up with a big play early in this one.
The sophomore looking to the sidelines. Gets his play. Twins to the right, 2 receivers left. Booker in the backfield. We'll give it to Booker, who's met by the Hilltoppers and stuffed.
Great push by that Hilltopper defensive front. You see Fetchick in there, but he was not the only one in there on that play. Number of Hilltoppers in there. Cooper Felger in there getting the stop. Just pushing that play back.
Loss on the play, 4th down and 2.
Looked like Lazinski was in as well.
We'll bring up 4th down and 2. See what they decide to do. They're going to go for it, trying to get around the end. And they have it across the 40. That time it was the big man, number 7, Rich Milan.
Yeah, they took the direct snap back there from Milan. You saw Fetchik breaking back late, wondering if maybe a drop punt was coming. And the Lions able to work the trick play and pick up the first down and keep it going. So you knew they came up here from Florida to play, Matt, and on the first 4th down, they convert on a trick play.
Crossing from the gun, going to hand it off to his running back, who breaks a couple tackles, gets up near the 45-yard line, gain of about 3 on that run.
Looked like Crossan couldn't decide if he wanted to hand that off until the last second, eventually gave the ball to Booker, still picking up 3 yards there on the play.
This Hilltopper defense, and we'll get to them in just a second here. Introduce the boys up front. Crossan claps his hands, looking to throw, puts it up in the air, and it is batted away. Trey Liebhardt, who had 2 picks last week, made the stop there against the Clemson commit.
And he was reading the eyes again of that quarterback, Matt. He saw that he had maybe a chance to get the interception there. Either way, he knocked the ball out. Good play by Trey Liebhardt.
Liebhardt, the leader in the secondary. Him and Leo Columbia are the safeties. Caleb Hewitt and A.J. Bruce are the cornerbacks. Starting linebackers, Fetchik, Mario Tolo, and Austin Green. We'll get the boys up front after this. Crossing, feeling some pressure, wrapped up and brought down! Kisley got to him. Alex Kisley, the senior, 6'3", 230 with the sack, and that was huge.
They were blitzing the defensive ends from both sides of the field, and both of them came into the backfield unblocked. Nowhere for Crossan to go. He eventually fell into the hands of Kisley. Nicely done there by the Hilltopper D.
Mellon gonna rugby style it down the field, takes a bounce, continues to bounce, and will go into the end zone.
Yeah, that ball was more of a line drive, so there wasn't going to be much of a chance of it hitting the turf and stopping, and it rolled into the end zone for the touchback.
Well, now out come the Chardon Hilltoppers, led, of course, by the senior quarterbacks, Alex Henry, a senior 6'3", 195, his running backs, and we'll see a slew of them tonight. Zach Fay, the senior, 5'11", 203, A.J. Bruce, junior, 5'11", 174. Caleb Hewitt, the sophomore, 5'10", 160. Expect to see a little bit of Drago Vuyaklia as well, a junior, 5'10", 175. Zach Henneman, the split end, a junior, 6'0", 170, lines up to the far right. Henry going to send Vuyaklia in motion, and Henry going up the gut, and he stopped forward progress a couple of yards.
As we saw last week, well, really the first 2 weeks is, this offense is really going to run through Alex Henry. He's going to run the football a lot. He's a guy you can rely on in late down situations. He's the veteran state championship quarterback on an otherwise young offense, and he really leads the way.
Caleb Hewitt enters the game. Henry looking to throw, has some time, putting it up, and it is caught down the left side. Hewitt with the catch near the 50, and the Topper's a big first down.
That was a great throw, too, by Alex Henry. Nice route there by Hewitt. Hewitt comes around on the sideline, and Henry hits him in stride. That ball met Hewitt where he was in stride. Great throw, great catch. Good job to move the chains. And we saw the Hilltoppers, Matt, open up the passing game a little more a week ago against Camden.
Guys up front, by the way. Well, for sure, we'll get to that after this. Hewitt goes in motion. Hewitt gets the carry. Hewitt going around the right side. Hewitt breaks one tackle, 50, and there's a flag as Hewitt manages to gain about 4 yards on that play.
Yeah, jet sweep run there. Reward Hewitt after the big catch. Give him the ball again, and he's able to run to the outside and pick up 4. But this looks like we'll look at the area of the flag and see what's happening. If it's holding against the Hilltoppers. It's coming back from there. What's the call? It's going to go against
It's a personal foul.
Personal foul at the end of the run.
Hilltoppers will absolutely take it. Their line, by the way, up front from left to right. Andrew Baggett, Treadell Graves, Dylan Jenkins, Mark Hall, and Logan Bryant. Tight end is Charlie Brock. Toppers will go to the run game, and that is Zach Fay. Zach Fay pounding his way left side. One of the things that we haven't really talked about, but it's going to come into play as this game progresses and as the season progresses, Ryan, is not only the running of these backs, but their ability to block up front as well.
Yeah, it's a team effort down there, especially when you're on offense like Chardon's, and you're going to look for guys like Fay for on those QB runs, or if you have Henry ready to throw, you're going to be looking for them to be out there, be extra blockers in front of that, like Fay is right there in front of Henry.
Henry kept it himself, went straight up the middle to about the 31. Will bring up third down and long for the Hilltoppers. Fay has big shoes to fill, and there's no doubt about that. Last year and for the year before that, we had Sean Carr, who was, you want to talk about the prodigal fullback. He checked all the boxes.
Yeah, he was not only in the end zone all the time, but those fundamental things, his ability to block.
They pitch it left side. Hewitt trying to make a cut, trying to get around the end. Hewitt close. Looks like he got, no, this ought to be very close.
Well, Hewitt was able to get around one tackle and make one tackle mix to get to the second level. It's 4-down territory anyway, so Hewitt did the job. He got you to 4th and 1 here. That was good work there on the run by Hewitt.
So Caleb Hewitt with the run to the right makes it 4th and 1 from the 26 Toppers. No doubt about what they're going to be doing here, although, just going to say, Ryan, they've already had one good pass. Do you gamble here and go for everything?
I keep the ball in the hands of Alex Henry.
Oh, that's what the Lions think so too. No, the give is to Fay. Fay up the gut, and he got it. So Zach Fay, the big man.
Also nothing wrong with going to your big 203-pound fullback when you only need 1 yard, and Fay powers his way across for the first down.
No, the Chardon Hilltoppers have a 1st and 10 now from the Lion 29-yard line. And you have to imagine, Ryan, that down in Florida with the kind of athletes that a lot of those schools have, you don't see too much wing T down there.
No, they do not see a lot of wing T. I know that's something when I was talking to John Camp. He spoke to their head coach before the game. That was something he was saying. They don't see offenses like Chardon's very often.
Henry has some time, going to throw it. He is intercepted. Ball is picked by Richie Mellon. And Mellon going to make his way up near the 30. Boy, the big linebacker made a big play.
There was all kinds of traffic there, and just looking at the way the play developed, I think that ball was underthrown. I think Henry wanted to get that ball past the linebackers. He had a receiver open there on the sideline, and the ball just came up short and right in the hands of the linebacker. Good awareness, too, because football seemed to surprise him at first, and he was able to hold on to it after that.
Oh, the other thing was there was pressure coming from behind. I'm not sure if Henry felt that or not either. Crossing now from the gun, going to hand it off, looking to go to Sparaccio, who's brought down in the backfield. Big tackle by Fetchick.
Another big play by Heath. Fetchick back is trying to get out into open space, and Fetchick came flying in and taking him down. Fetchick had a similar tackle to that one last week against Camden, and Heath Fetchick looks good in these first 3 weeks, Matt.
Sam Sparaccio, the only freshman who starts on this squad. Couple underclassmen here and there, but predominantly seniors. Cross going to put it up and over through his intended target. Was looking for Jaden Pettit. Coverage on the play by Caleb Hewitt, and that will bring up 3rd down.
And we talk so much about Bruce and Liebhardt out there in the secondary, but that's a great play by Caleb Hewitt. As you saw there in that route with Pettit trying to do the stop and start again, trying to get Hewitt off, and Hewitt stayed with him all the way down the sideline. It was a great play by Hewitt.
So 3rd and 12 now for the Hilltoppers, or excuse me, for the Lions. Crossan, feeling some pressure, stepping up in the pocket, has room to run, 30, 35, out near the 40, breaks a tackle on his feet, gets the first down. Wow, Trey Liebhart had to come in and make that stop, and faced with a 3rd and long, the young QB does it with his feet.
Oh, Lions, knowing that the Hilltoppers like to bring all kinds of pressure on 3rd and long, they bring their quarterback to the outside, and once he's able to get around those linebackers, there is plenty of open space for him to pick up the first down. That's a good play call there by the Lions.
Twins right, 2 receivers left. Booker gets the call, looking for something, and maybe picks up. Actually, he might have lost a yard on that run.
All kinds of Hilltoppers there. He initially ran right into the arms of Alex Kisley, with some other guys coming in to help bring him down. Might have lost a yard, actually, Matt, by the time they placed this football. Fetchick in on the stop as well.
Second and 11 from the 41. Ethan Crossan from the gun. Now it's Sparaccio to his right. This is the running back. Looking, he hands it off to the freshman. Sparaccio up near the 45 and falls forward to about the 46.
Kisley's going to get flagged for a roughing call here, so we'll see what the Hilltop. That was a bang-bang play. The Chardon faithful don't like it. The football was out of Crossan's hands. It's a borderline call. Coach Hewitt certainly doesn't agree with it.
Say it was helmet to helmet,
and it's going to be helmet to helmet against Kisley down there. So they weren't calling a roughing; they were calling a helmet to helmet.
That was a perfect hit, Ref. That was terrible.
Lions will now move across midfield for the first time in this game. They'll have a 1st down and 10 now from the 39.
Someone's mouth guard is all the way at the 32.
That's the QB.
Crossan had to go pick it up.
Yeah, give the officials credit for actually seeing that one.
These kids don't worry about the germs as much as I do, picking up that mouth guard off the turf and putting it right back in.
Yeah, but it was his own. Ethan Crossan will give it to Jaden Booker. Booker breaks a few tackles, gets into the secondary, and Booker up to about the 31-yard line. Nice run for Jaden Booker.
Yeah, good blocking there by the front. Able to stop the blitz from the Hilltoppers. Booker able to run past it, pick up 5 yards.
Lines now from the 34. 2 receivers on each side. Booker to the left. They'll fake to him, throw, and the big man from Clemson makes the catch to the 10, the 5, and he's in the end zone. Touchdown, Lions.
Good job on play action there, able to get themselves some extra time, and then they just, get out there and find Olsen Henry. Big target down there. We don't have the stats, but he clearly outsizes anyone in the Hilltopper secondary, so if he gets an open space like that, he's going to be hard to bring down. He was able to slip right out of a tackle and into the end zone for the touchdown.
Now he just made that look easy. And now they're out to attempt the PAT. Bit of a low snap, and Chardon blocks it. Toppers will get the block on the PAT, and that could be pivotal down the road.
Yeah, good push right there by the Hilltoppers to get the block, and you take some momentum back right away when you make that play. Well, today's special cablecast is being underwritten by the Chardon Hilltopper Gridiron Club supporters. The game is also being streamed by the Chardon Athletic Department for a one-time fee of $10. Some or all of the proceeds from streaming revenue will go to the athletic department. This year's football program has the largest number of participants, grades 7 through 12, and the equipment costs for these players are enormous. it is hope that that revenue of the game streaming will help offset some of those costs. Well, for the first time this year, Matt, the Hilltoppers are going to be playing from behind.
Well, it was bound to happen. So Melian set to do the kickoff here. Liebhart and Bruce back deep to receive for your Hilltoppers.
For the Lions, did exactly what you want to do, took advantage of the turnover, got a score.
Big kick, and will go into the end zone, touchback.
So the Hilltoppers will need to come out. That was a good drive they had going. A little bit of pressure, and it led to an interception, but those things happen. We'll see this Hilltopper offense can bounce right back because they had a good thing going. They were really moving and marching down the field prior to that interception.
Want to send a shout out and a big happy 7th birthday today to Walter Ward, watching from Northampton Street today. Happy birthday. Hopefully the Toppers can deliver you a win today. Man in motion, and Henry going to be stopped in the backfield. He had nowhere to go. A lot of penetration, and Michael Vallada, the linebacker, gets in and makes that stop.
Yeah, he does a nice job there. It stays with Alex Henry, keeps his assignment, able to bring the quarterback down for a loss.
Will be 2nd down and about 13 for the Toppers from the 17-yard line. Leo Columbi will enter the game. Columbi going to be the split end coming out left side. Now Bruce going to line up on the right. Pettijohn goes in motion. Henry looking to step up in the pocket, and Henry gets back to the line of scrimmage. And that's about it. A lot of pressure from the Lions.
He was able to get around one tackle, but he couldn't get around the other. That was Brett Rosano, number 88, a big tight end. Another big piece of this defense. And he's able to stop Alex Henry. So the Hilltoppers behind the chains, and they are not behind the chains very often on 3rd down.
3rd and 13, and we'll see what Don Novotsik's going to dial up here. Liebhart and Bruce, the receivers out left side. Now Caleb Hewitt going in motion, and they will give the ball to Caleb. Caleb going to be stopped in the backfield. Boy, Michael Vallada again got in there, and Melian as well.
This is a really disciplined defense they're going up against. They're not making some of the mistakes we saw two good defenses make in the first 2 weeks of really biting on that play action. Everyone's keeping their eyes on an assignment. You had 4 linebackers there closing out that hole for Hewitt to turn on. This is definitely a disciplined group down there for the Lions, and you see them force a 3 and out here, and the Hilltoppers punting from deep in their own territory.
So Evans back on his own 3. End over end kick will bounce at the 45 straight up, and the Toppers will down it right about there. So from there, that is where the Lions will start, back on the Hilltoppers side of the field with 54 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Toppers, of course, putting their win streak on the line against one of the better teams in the state of Florida.
Yeah, the Lions come up here, and they got the score after that turnover, and now they're winning the field position battle as they're able to take the ball inside Hilltopper territory to start their 3rd drive of the game.
Two receivers on each side. Booker in the backfield. Crossing claps his hands, gives it to Booker. No, he keeps it himself. And Crossing going to be stopped around midfield, so loss of about 3 on that run.
Good work there by the front 7 for the Hilltoppers, able to get in there and make the stop.
Check, that was loss of 2 on the play, so it'll be 2nd down and about 12. And that likely will be the last play of the first quarter, unless Lions are going to try to squeeze one in here. Clock running under 15 seconds. They're going to try to go for it. And now a late flag.
That's going to be an illegal procedure here against the Lions. They'll push them back 5 yards. Now they'll be facing a 2nd down and 18 against a really tough, defense to be facing a 2nd down and 18 against. Now, I don't think we'll see another play in this first quarter, Matt, as the clock starts to run and the Lions can let the quarter run out.
Well, indeed they will. We've played one, and First Baptist has the lead 6-0 over Chardon.
The Chardon Hilltopper Gridiron Club, in association with GTV, proudly presents Chardon Hilltopper varsity football. Today's game is brought to you by the Chardon Smile Center, Roniak Paving, Burr Funeral Home and Cremation Service, El Patron Mexican Grill and Cantina, Hazen Asphalt, Paving and Seal Coat, The Arms Trucking Company, Realtor Beth Felger at Keller Williams Realty, Patai and Mark F. Burr Funeral Homes, Dan McCaskey and Terry Combs, the McCaskey Team, Remax Traditions, The Junction Auto Family, Conic Law, LLC, Brock Construction, Precision Orthopedics, Ashes Mayfield Window Cleaning Company, and the Chardon Athletic Boosters, and by GTV.
Welcome back, everyone, to Chardon Memorial Field. Matt Jaworski, Ryan Radke with you for this one. Saturday afternoon game, hopefully the last one on the, well, it is the last one on the schedule. Crossan looking to throw, has some time over the middle, and the ball is caught and held on to. That'll be, no, drop.
Leo Columbi with some big contact down there to knock that ball out. Plenty of time for Crossan to make that throw. A lot of time for that route over the middle to develop for Szymanski. But just great work by Columbi to get in there with the hard hit to bring him down.
Well, we've seen Leo hit guys. He certainly brings some force. We'll bring up 3rd down and 17. Lions have faced 3rd down and long a couple times in the first quarter. And I'll tell you what, their QB showed why. He's got an offer from Ole Miss. He can make things happen with his feet and with his arms. Right there, nothing! Brought down in the backfield. Who was it? Lazinski.
Came out of the position there. Lazinski with a nice move from the outside, able to make a big stop.
Well, you talk about this Chardon team, and it's no doubt they're led by the front four. Alex Kisley, Aiden Smith, Cooper Felger, Austin Lazinski. The team this year is going to go as those guys go. And that was a good set of downs by Chardon. This time it's an end-over-end sky-high kick, and it will take a Hilltopper bounce toward the sidelines.
Yeah, great work there by the Hilltopper defense. You know, they got that first play to be a negative play. Then the Lions compounded it with the penalty, and once you get yourself that far back against the Hilltoppers, this defense isn't going to let you go. Lions couldn't gain one of those yards back, end up punting it away on a 3-and-out, and so that drive starts in Hilltopper territory, and this Hilltopper defense is able to end it with the Lions punting as a good series for them.
Well, last time the Chardon offense was on the field, it was a 3-and-out. Let's see if they've had a chance to figure some things out here. Pettijohn goes in motion. It's going to be Henry keeping the ball left side. Henry running up down the field, 40. Henry picks up the first down out near the 42.
And there's what you talk about there. Henry runs behind Pettijohn. It's Pettijohn's job to seal off that corner and give Henry that one last block so he can turn and make the move. Pettijohn does a nice job. He throws that block. Henry's able to turn the corner and pick up the first down on the nice run play.
Well, it's one of the areas where this Hilltopper team has been struggling in throughout the early, well, for the first 2 games of this season. It's been the blocking up front.
Well, we've been talking about it. It's a young group, and Coach Hewitt keeps saying it. He's correct. There's nothing to supplement actual game day experience.
Henry up the middle. Gains a couple yards on that run on first down.
And, so far every week we come out here and things up front look like with more experience, things are getting more cohesive up there. And it's just a matter of time. It's difficult at the high school level because you graduate players every year. So you've got new players out there every year who have to learn. This is a really young offense. We've talked about it. With Alex Henry out there at quarterback really to lead the way, it helps all those other guys along to have him to lean on.
2nd down and 8 after that short run by Henry. He's going to be out of the gun. 2 receivers to the right. Sends 2 guys in motion, and they will call a timeout, saving themselves from getting a flag.
Yeah, they did get that timeout in time. Good work there by Henry calling the timeout to avoid the penalty coming out.
Smart move by a senior QB. You might see some younger QBs not realize you can do that before the ball snapped.
Right where we're talking about there with the leadership of the quarterback who's won the state championship. He comes up and saves a penalty there for his offense.
So if you're the Hilltoppers right now, facing a 2nd down and 8 from the 44 early here in the 2nd quarter, Ryan. What do you think they're talking about in this timeout?
Well, you got a good thing going here, and it's going to be about playing Hilltopper football. You don't need to pick up the touchdown right now. Let's go out there. Let's do what we do, pick up 4 or 5 yards at a time, really try to wear this defense down and keep the positive momentum going.
Hilltoppers enter this game 2-0. And for First Baptist, they had a 43-0 win against St. John Newman, a Florida team, last week. So they're only playing their 2nd game of the year. Henry going to keep it himself, and Henry tries to make a cut. He's got running room. Henry coming near side 45. Henry to the 40. Henry to the 30. To the 20. One man to beat the 10, the 5. Touchdown Toppers! Alex Henry, the 56-yard touchdown run.
What a play by Alex Henry. Went all the way to his left, saw that closing off. Great field vision to see some room to the right, and he just angled himself and started running. Caleb Hewitt throws a block around the 30-yard line to take one guy off, and the other 2 guys coming, they have no chance of getting to Henry as he could continue to angle for the corner. Great play by the Hilltopper offense, and they get the big play. Alex Henry is in the end zone for the touchdown.
Well, and on that play, Henry made it with his feet. It looked like he would have been stopped in the backfield, but he made one heck of a cut.
Yeah, that was just great field vision by Henry. He saw that play collapsing, looked to his right, saw it open, and he took off.
Makes my ankles want to buckle. And now Evans, this is a huge PAT here because it will give Chardon the lead if he can connect. Good snap. Kick is up. Off the scoreboard and good. First time he's done that this year. We've been waiting for that one.
Well, we know that Matt keeps the official stats and who hits the scoreboard each season. GTV is still providing live audio-only coverage of Hilltopper football, home and away on GTV channel 1025. You can listen to the Toppers in the comfort of your own home with the score on the screen and the golden tones of Matt over here bringing you all the action. So if you can't make it to the game, be sure to tune in to the Toppers on GTV channel 1025. Next week's game at Riverside will be audio only on GTV cable channel 1025, kickoff at 7 p.m. The golden tones of Matt, the backdrop for your fall here in Chardon.
My apologies. All of a sudden now, a little bit of pep in this crowd. Amazing what one play can do.
That's a big play, right? Alex Henry created that play on his own. That play was dying at the line of scrimmage, and he just looked up and looked to the right and saw an opening and took it. It's a great play by Alex Henry. It's a senior play by Alex Henry, and it's a touchdown.
Now Henry's going to be counted on to make those kinds of runs throughout the rest of the season. This week, next week against a tough Riverside squad, maybe the best Dave Boers has ever had, by the way, as they nearly knocked off the mighty Mentor Cardinals. That will be a touchback. Riverside just could not get in the end zone last night, I beg your pardon, against Mentor. 2 field goals. They had a chance to actually win the game on a last-second field goal, but it went wide right.
You know, John Camp was at that game talking to him a couple plays before that field goal. Open Riverside receiver had a ball go off his hands. Could have been a walk-in touchdown. But it's tough to go to Menor and win, and the Cardinals found a way to get out with the home victory.
I'll tell you this, and I'm going to tell Dave when I see him next week. He's always a great coach to talk to, so personal. Of course, he gave Mitch his break as well with being on his staff. But it takes guts to be a Lake County team wanting to go into Menor and play the Cardinals. Good for them. Makes them a better team, too. Lions, the 1st and 10 as they work their way right to left. They give it to Booker. Jaden Booker up the middle, breaks a couple tackles, and Booker into the secondary, picks up the first down across the 30 out to the 31. This could be the one issue facing this Hilltoppers defensive line, Ryan. They have not faced a back like Booker this year.
No, and if you look at Booker, he's already built for the next level. He looks like I was going to say who lines up on Saturday, but he is lining up on Saturday today. But he's big and strong with a sturdy base.
Crossing, feeling pressure, going to look to his Clemson commit, overthrows him. Nice tight coverage by A.J. Bruce.
They've got some talented athletes, some great wide receivers out here, but they don't face a secondary like this very often. And again, although A.J. Bruce is giving up a couple of inches, fundamentally he is so sound, and he's a great athlete on his own right that he is step for step there in great coverage with Henry.
For the Hilltoppers players as individuals, Ryan, this game, last week's game, Coach Hewitt calls them money games. Talk about that in just a second. Jaden stopped in the backfield. Jaden Booker nowhere to run. The Toppers gang tackled them just past the 30, but the reason being is you're going up against superior talent. Coaches at the next level, they don't care. If you show them film where you're beating up on some kid who, isn't that good, maybe hasn't been playing college or high school football that long, but boy, you show them that you can shut down a Division I recruit, make some tackles against a kid playing who will likely be playing at the Division I level, you might get yourself some offers that way. Crossing, quick throw out to the right. It is caught, and Hilltoppers will give up a couple yards after contact, but it'll be a catch for Jaden Pettit. Pettit, by the way, a freshman.
And good work out there to get the stop on Pettit as well, because got some initial pressure there, and they kept him held up just enough for the linebackers to get there to help, because Pettit is another larger guy. He's another mismatch there in space where if he's in the open field, he's going to be tough to bring down. Hilltoppers able to slow him down long enough to get some help there to bring him down.
See if this is going to be a fake or if they're going for it. Rich Melian. Bit of a high snap. Looks like he's going to try to fake it. Go around the right side. No, he kicks it. And way out of bounds. Boy, indecisiveness on the Lions that time.
You got to decide one way or another, and I think he saw that pressure coming from the Hilltoppers, and I think if he punted initially, it would have been blocked. I think he knew that, so he gets something away. It's a good play by him in the long run that doesn't look like one, and I mean, that was out of bounds basically right where he was standing, so great field position for the Hilltoppers.
Here's what's interesting too, though, Ryan. Compared to most punters here in Ohio, he's awfully close to that line of scrimmage.
Yeah, well, it's obvious that they really want teams thinking that they will fake on that on any time. It's a direct snap to an athlete. We already saw him pick up a first down on a fourth. I think they really want teams buying into the idea you never know.
Toppers up 7-6, trying to tack it on here. Henry looking to go left side, running room. Henry down the sideline, on his feet. Henry tripped up just before the 20-yard line.
And the Hilltoppers will get an additional 15 yards to boot on top of that. As way in the backfield for no reason at all that we know of, a Lions player just threw Logan Bryant to the ground. So it's a great play. Henry gets to the outside. Good job to seal and close it off. And the Hilltoppers will get 15 more yards tacked on. There's going to be a face mask call on that play.
What's one of the things that the Hilltoppers have learned in the last 2 years as they've made the march towards state titles?
They've learned a lot, Matt.
But don't fight back.
That's
gotta keep
the
your
number
cool.
one thing. Yep.
And
let the other team get those personal foul penalties.
Toppers a first and goal from the well, actually, there will be a flag. They're going to have first down and 10 from the 11. It was my mistake there. I thought it was lined up on the 10.
And we're going to have a legal procedure against the Hilltoppers, pushing them back 5 yards.
5 yards to the 16.
Just had the stats up on the scoreboard. Already 95 yards on 8 rushes for Alex Henry today.
Well, he has, I don't want to say been MIA because that's not the right call. They just have not called his number on those kinds of runs this year. Up until this game, at least.
Well, he's gotten a couple of big openings, and part of it is again, we're seeing with each and every week the cohesion of that offensive unit getting better, and there have been some good blocks on the outside here in the first half of this game, and that's led to big runs turning the corner for Alex Henry.
Toppers going in motion, and flag coming out. Running right side, picking up a few yards, was Daniel Pettyjohn.
I believe we have is it going to be called against the Lions here? They might have had someone lined up.
Pettyjohn unable to get off the field. Boy, Daniel Pettyjohn, and you gotta feel for him. The senior just he's trying to play through injury. We saw him have issues last week, and boy, again, hopefully the young man's okay. Folks, we're going to take a timeout here on GTV. Good news is Daniel Pettyjohn able to walk off the field. I don't want to say sprint, but maybe ran off the field on his own power. So it was a good sign they didn't give him that much attention once the trainers came out. So hopefully he can get back out there. They will be needing him as this game progresses. Chardon will have a 2nd down and 8 from the 9 after that penalty went against First Baptist Academy. Now Fetchick gets the handoff, and Fetchick plows forward up near the 5.
Fetchick is a strong player. Good to get him in there in these goal line situations, and he's able to pick up a few yards.
Will be 3rd down and about 4 for the Hilltoppers. Well, check that, 5.
Important to note that they can pick up a first down before they get to the end zone here.
Tight formation for the Hilltoppers. And who gets the call? It's Fetchick again. Fetchick in the end zone. Touchdown, Toppers!
Ran it right inside, a block from Drago, able to get into the end zone for a touchdown. Nice work by Fetchick, good blocking out there by Vuyaklia. And the Hilltoppers extend their lead here in quarter number 2.
So the Chardon Hilltoppers working with some short yards on that drive. Started off well into Lion territory, able to get a touchdown out of it. And Evans looking to connect here. Will Francis, the holder. Good snap, bit high, but Francis brings it back down. Evans' kick is good.
Short of the scoreboard.
Yep. I kept waiting for the officials, though. They just kind of looked at each other. Finally, they're like, all right, it's good. With 6:24 to go, Toppers increase their lead 14-6.
Well, hey, not only can you get GTV on Roku and Apple TV, you can also get it on your cell phone. That's right, your iPhone or your Android. All you have to do is look for the Cablecast app in your store, and you'll have GTV on the go. So you could get the golden tones of Matt wherever you go with the GTV.
Don't sell yourself short, my friend, because your vocals play a huge role as well. Also now Chardon, after giving up that early touchdown off the interception, has piled up 14 unanswered points.
Yeah, and, we mentioned it at the moment, but that's an instant, your First Baptist Academy, you got the turnover, you turned it into points, and you instantly give some of that momentum back when you get your point after attempt block. And the Hilltoppers have taken that momentum, and they've really carried it, and they've got themselves an 8-point lead now.
Evans puts his right leg into it, and another touchback. No, they're going to say he can come out. My goodness. 25-30 up near the 35-yard line. He was in the end zone.
Well, that's a break for First Baptist Academy. That buys them an extra 14 yards, and there's absolutely no way around that. The officials missed that call. That's period. His back heel was in the end zone. That should have been a touchback. It's not going to get undone now, so you got to put it away. You got to forget it happened, go out there, and hey, this is a good defense. Get your 3 and out, get off the field, get your offense back out there, but there's absolutely no way around it. That was a missed call by the officials.
3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Jason Booker in the backfield. They fake the handoff to him. Catch by Olsen, and Olsen brought down immediately around the 37, 38-yard line.
But again, good work there by the linebackers for the Hilltoppers. 0 yards after the catch. So Olsen only picks up a couple on that quick out throw.
2-yard gain out to the 37. FBA going to send twins right, 2 receivers left. Booker to the left of crossing from the gun. Now he's going to send a man in motion, Shimsky. They will give it to Booker, snuffed out in the backfield. Hilltoppers D back there, makes the big stop.
Kisley comes untouched from the defensive end position and just kept his eyes directly on that ball, was able to make the big play for the loss.
I got to say this, though. If Kisley doesn't start getting some offers after the way he's played these last 2 weeks, there's something wrong with the game of college football.
If you're gonna ask me, there are a lot of players on this Hilltopper defense that are under-offered right now.
3rd and 11 from the 34, from the gun, crossing, feeling pressure, stepping up the pocket. Kisley got him again! A huge stop. The man is just a beast.
Huge play for Alex Kisley. Absolutely nothing they can do down there on the left side of that offensive line. Left tackle Tyler Fink has no chance against Alex Kisley. Kisley basically backed him right into the quarterback and got that sack.
The Hilltoppers' defensive line is now starting to take over in this game. 4th and 16. Melian. That's a good punt. Fetchick will watch it bounce, will pick it up. Avoids 1 tackle coming up 35-40. 45 break, midfield 15. Fetchick puts the Hilltoppers in FBA territory again.
And A.J. Bruce really helped open that up with a block down there. Fetchick decides to take it. He sees one man in front of him. He sees Bruce right there. Bruce throws a block. Fetchick runs inside of it, and then he's able to get up the field about 25 yards. Great run by Fetchick. Good play by Bruce down there to open it up. Good work all the way around by the return unit for the Hilltoppers.
Ryan, it's amazing what good blocks will do for you.
It's all part of the game. It's those fundamental things, and teams like the Hilltoppers do the fundamentals well. That's how you win 2 straight state championships.
Indeed it is, and you go back to week 1 against the Bulldogs, where they necessarily weren't making those blocks. This time it's Drago trying to get something going, picks up maybe a yard right side. But we're seeing now some of this progress from these backs and from these linemen.
Yeah, and that was going to come. Again, it's something that Coach Hewitt has told us every week. It's a young group. There's no substitute for the game action, but this is the 3rd week of game action all these guys are getting now, and you can see this offensive unit really starting to gel up front.
Topper send it a split end out to the far left. Man in motion, that's Pettyjohn. Henry looking to get around the end. He can't, trying to cut back, and no, Henry will be tackled near the 48. Loss on that play, 3 or 4. FBA got to him and snuffed it out pretty quick.
The Lions look like they're getting back to what we saw from them more in the first quarter. They're being more disciplined. They're having 4 linebackers out there on the outside, not letting that corner open up, and Now the Lions are going to take a timeout here.
Well, and I can't blame it. It's 3rd down and 11. 3:26 to go here before halftime. Remember, the Hilltoppers will get the ball to start the second quarter, to start the second half, beg your pardon.
Yeah, and so if you're the Lions, you don't want to give up the big play here. You've given up touchdowns on the last 2 drives. You got a chance to stall this drive out and get the ball headed into the locker room. So I think this is a good timeout call here. You bring your defense in, make sure everyone's on the same page, ready to go. Probably saying a lot of keep your eyes on number 6 on this play.
Well, head coach Bill Sparacchio, you got to think that in his mind, he's thinking, okay, we get to stop here, we get the ball back, and one of my playmakers finally makes a big play.
That's what he's looking for.
They have that potential to do it, hit on a home run.
It's just a really tough defense to hit a home run against. That's what Camden ran into last week. That's what Olmsted Falls ran into 2 weeks ago, and that's what the Lions are running into this week. This Hilltopper defense is a tough defense to hit a home run against. They don't give up many.
They don't, but I hate to say it, the problem is even the best pitchers, like for instance Bob Feller, gave up a home run or 2 in his day. Henry from the gun. 2 receivers out to the left, a receiver near side. Pettyjohn going in motion. Henry looking to throw over the middle of the field, and Henry overthrows everybody. Was looking for maybe Bruce. A little bit of extracurriculars along the sideline here.
Bruce and Columby were both in the area. Henry took a hit after that throw, and I think the Hilltoppers are taking exception with that. They're going to send the punt unit out here on 4th and 10 at midfield. No reason to try something crazy. Your defense has been good once again today, so trust your defense to get the stop here before you head into the locker room.
You can pin First Baptist Academy back deep with this defense.
And so far the first couple weeks, Joseph Evans has shown the ability to pin a team back inside the 20.
That kick shaded to the left, heading toward the coffin corner. It goes out near the 2. What a kick!
Like I said, Evans has shown the ability in the punting game today. That was a perfect kick. He's at his home field. He knows how the turf is going to bounce, and he does a great job to get it down inside. Looks like they're going to spot it at the 2-yard line.
So the Lions will have the ball 1st and 10 from their own 2. Camden had an issue with this last week. Just saying.
The Hilltoppers got that safety a week ago. Something the defense last season wanted all year long and didn't get. They were able to get it last week.
The fans starting to make some noise, and now the Lions have the crazies behind them too. Hawaiian night, by the way. Crossing from the gun. Looking to throw down the sidelines. Up in the air. It's intercepted! The Hilltoppers get the ball back. A.J. Bruce with the pick near the 27. Oh my goodness.
Spectacular play by A.J. Bruce in their own end zone. The Lions trying to make a big play to get the drive going. And Bruce goes up against a Clemson recruit, takes the football right out of his hands. Perfectly played by Bruce, read the quarterback's eyes. That's a do-or-die play. If Bruce doesn't make that interception, that's probably gone to the house. Bruce makes the play. Spectacular job by A.J. Bruce.
That ball was underthrown, due in part to pressure coming on crossing. I think he had to throw it early, underthrew it.
He had a little bit more time than you might expect, but you just don't get much time in the end zone against the Hilltoppers defense.
So Hilltoppers will get the ball 1st and 10 from the 27. Henry going to keep it himself, looking to make a cut, and Henry falls forward across the 25 down to about the 24.
It's okay. That's a good work there. 3 yards on 1st down. You're going to take your time here if you're the Hilltoppers. You get the ball to start the second half, so no problem running down the remainder of this half, getting a score, and really getting a chance to open up some separation here. It's a good opportunity for the Hilltoppers to do that.
Gain of 3 on that run. And now Henry brings his team back to the line. Will go under center this time. Tight wing T formation. Split end to his left. Henry barking out the calls. Will hand it off. Cutting right side. Falling across the 20 was Drago Vuyaclia. Vuyaclia nearing that 1st down marker.
Nice job there by WeWereAthletes. You run with Henry up the middle first. Now you send WeWereAthletes to the right. Pick up about 4 more, 3rd down and 3.
Here's something to think about. Alex Henry had about just over 100 yards rushing in 2 games this season. He's got to be at that mark, if not exceeding it right now.
Is very close as the officials briefly stopped the game clock.
And they will restart it. 2-minute mark to go here. Toppers can take their time in that sense. Don't have to worry too much about the game clock. Pitch right side, Caleb Hewitt. Hewitt trying to get to the outside on his feet. I think he's a yard short.
Yeah, he needed to get to the 17. He was at the 18. Just a couple of linebackers there. Nothing really opening up for Caleb. He's going to be a couple yards short. They're marking him back at the 19.
Boy, 4th down and 2. Tough view on our vantage point here. We can't really see that sideline. Fetchick and Hewitt in the backfield. Drago also in the game. They give this to Fetchick, and Fetchick goes forward. The question is, did he get to the 17?
It is awfully close. I believe he does get the
Official
yard decline
points,
to gain.
first down.
Yeah, he'll end up moving the chains. Martucci was able to get in the backfield and slow Fetchick down, but Fetchick with enough to go ahead. And we've seen Fetchick get the ball a few times on the ground here in this second quarter, and he's done a good job.
Toppers would love to eat a little bit more clock here, but it may be becoming an issue. About 1:36 to go before halftime. Henry looking to throw. No, he's going to tuck it. Henry slides forward down near the 10 and a flag, sitting at the 18.
And so we'll wait and see what they're going to call.
Henry's helmet comes off, means he has to come out for a play.
That means Will Francis will come in.
He's like Jose Ramirez.
Can't keep the helmet on.
Can't keep it on.
This
one's coming back too, unfortunately.
Yeah, that was in the area of offensive holding, and that's going to be the call.
That's a huge penalty.
He just ripped his helmet off, Ref! Where are you going? I don't know what you're watching.
Once again, the good news here for the Hilltoppers is, First Baptist Academy does have 2 timeouts left, but if they'll let you, you could effectively run out this quarter and get the ball to start the second half.
Toppers with a 1st and 20 from the 28 when play resumes.
Not sure what's going on now.
Trey Liebhart in the backfield to pilot this team for the official near side talking to Coach Hewitt and giving him some kind of explanation on something. Now they're going to start the clock. Trey going to be stopped in the backfield for a loss.
Direct snap to Trey Liebhart, and nothing open on the corner there. It was a physical game down there on the field.
Well, it's what you'd expect when you have a lot of Division I guys.
That was terrible!
So 2nd down and 20. No gain on that one.
Probably a little bit more than 20. They need the 8 there up at the 31.
Henry back under center. Clock running, under 36 to go. Now he's going to burn one of their 2 remaining timeouts.
Going to bring this ball in. They're going to discuss what they want to drop. At this point, Matt, you're at 2nd down and 23. You're probably not trying to score a touchdown. You're trying to make 2 plays to position yourself for the field goal to end the half. The field goal would officially make it a 2-score game. Hey, GTV's on the internet. Check out our new website with streaming links and more. Watch GTV wherever you go. Florida, Columbus, maybe even Tuscaloosa. Stream video of both channels available now at geaugatv.org.
A lot of great programming on GTV. And Ryan, if I'm not mistaken, there's an event going on just kind of down the way there in Burton this weekend.
There is a pretty...
We have a video coverage of that? All right. So our other channels showing highlights from the last 5 years, or last 25, thank you, last 25 years of the Great Geauga County Fair, celebrating, of course, 200 years. Henry dropping back to pass, looking to throw. He was hit. It's going to fall incomplete, and that will bring up a fourth down call, or fourth down possession. Check that third. Thank you, Ryan. That's why you're my go-to man, my right-hand man.
So bring up a third down and 23 here for the Hilltoppers. One timeout left. A field goal from here would be a 48-yarder. It'd be a pretty long one.
Oh, we saw Evans struggle
based
week
off
one from about 42.
Based off the flags on the goalpost, Evans would have a light breeze to his back on the kick. See what they have a timeout left, so you can run the football and still use a timeout to get your field goal unit out there.
Well, Chardon may also just want to run it and let the clock run. Left side, it's Drago. Drago tries to break a tackle. Went left side, maybe to the 31, but not much going beyond that. And then an immediately timeout called.
Yeah, First Baptist wants the football back, and they want to make the Hilltoppers make the decision here. So they're going to use a timeout and make Coach Hewitt and his team make the decision what they want to do here on fourth down and 23.
I know this sounds kind of crazy, and it's not within the general MO of what the Hilltoppers do, but facing a 4th and 23 from the 31, do you consider bringing out the punting unit and just trying to pin them down inside the 10?
Again, I don't think that's in the MO of what this team does. I would not think we would see that here at this point in time. You're going to keep trying to move forward, and they're calling the field goal unit out right now.
Wow.
Is going to be the decision they make.
Well, we saw Nathan Tagger last year make some long field goals. Evans now will get a chance to do it himself. Going to be a 48-yard field goal attempt. Good snap, hold, got the leg into it. He has the distance. It is good! The Hilltoppers get a 48-yard field goal with 13 seconds left.
That was a great kick there by Evans. He had plenty of leg on that one. Went right through the middle of the uprights. And the Hilltoppers have made this officially a 2-score game now.
So the Hilltoppers get a huge score. Well, that's not the end of the half. The clock should have stopped. It kept running.
Yeah, I think there should be around 13 seconds on that clock.
Yeah.
8 seconds.
They're calling for 8 seconds, so.
All right, we'll take 8 seconds.
Yes, we'll take that. But, you know, you got your points before the half. First Baptist Academy, their defense is starting to come back to where they're starting the game. You see them being more disciplined there on the outside, getting the linebackers out there, not letting the Hilltoppers get those runs to the outside. But still, Chardon able to open up a 2-score lead on the leg of Joseph Evans. And having a kicker you know can do that is going to be a big part of what you need for these Hilltoppers down the stretch as you head into the playoffs. And Joseph Evans is showing that he can give you that kick.
So Evans now. Set to kick it off here with 17 seconds to go. High kick. Boy, his leg just seems to be getting stronger as this game progresses.
Yeah, it goes back there for a touchback. And, as he was getting into that one, he was feeling a pretty confident guy right there into that kickoff after hitting that big field goal.
FBA has a player down on the field, and with that, we'll pause and take an injury timeout here on GTV. Welcome back, everyone. Unfortunately, Jalen Brooks was the young man injured on the field, and after being attended to by the trainers, able to slowly walk off the field under his own power.
Yeah, it was good to see that as the trainers were out there with him for a few minutes, and hopefully Brooks will be all right.
Well, he has been a huge part of the Lions' offense in this game, and they will be without his services now for the next play. And you got to think that maybe they just may say, Jalen, hold tight. We're headed to the locker room in 17 seconds. So at that, it means that Sparaccio, the freshman Sam, will be the featured running back now. Crossing, going to give it to the freshman who's caught in the backfield. Kisley got to him quickly.
One thing I noticed, Matt, we thought they called for 8 seconds. They called for 18 seconds with that loss of yardage. It doesn't matter much anyway. That'll be the final play for First Baptist Academy here in the half.
We head into halftime with the score, Chardon 17, First Baptist Academy 6. Folks, we invite you to stick around because up next is the fantastic Hilltopper Marching Band, and they have one great show for you coming up next here on GTV.
The Chardon Hilltopper Gridiron Club, in association with GTV, proudly presents Chardon Hilltopper Varsity Football. Today's game is brought to you by the Chardon Smile Center, Roniak Paving, Burr Funeral Home and Cremation Service, El Patron Mexican Grill and Cantina, Hazen Asphalt, Paving and Seal Coat, The Arms Trucking Company, Realtor Beth Felger at Keller Williams Realty, Patai and Mark F. Burr Funeral Homes, Dan McCaskey and Terry Combs, the McCaskey Team, Remax Traditions, the Junction Auto Family, Conic Law LLC, Brock Construction, Precision Orthopedics, Ash's Mayfield Window Cleaning Company and the Chardon Athletic Boosters, and by GTV.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Introducing the 2022 Chardon Hilltopper Marching Band. The band will be led onto the field this afternoon by Field Commander Charlotte Johns. Our show for you this afternoon features different styles of jazz rock. This first tune was made famous by trumpet legend Bill Chase in 1971. Here is Get It On. in their music. This powerful electropop tune showcases a swing style. Featuring our topperettes and majorettes, here is Confident by Demi Lovato. We close this afternoon's show with a big band classic. Some early recordings of this tune featured Gene Krupa, Louis Prima, or Benny Goodman. This version features our percussion section, majorettes, topperettes, and a swing band dance. Here is Sing, Sing, Sing! School Fight Song.
The Chardon Hilltopper Gridiron Club, in association with GTV, proudly presents Chardon Hilltopper Varsity Football. Today's game is brought to you by the Chardon Smile Center, Roniak Paving, Burr Funeral Home and Cremation Service, El Patron Mexican Grill and Cantina, Hazen Asphalt, Paving and Seal Coat, The Arms Trucking Company, Realtor Beth Felger at Keller Williams Realty, Patai and Mark F. Burr Funeral Homes, Dan McCaskey and Terry Combs, the McCaskey Team, Remax Traditions, The Junction Auto Family, Conic Law, LLC, Brock Construction, Precision Orthopedics, Ash's Mayfield Window Cleaning Company and the Chardon Athletic Boosters, and by GTV.
Third quarter action about to begin here at Chardon Memorial. Matt Jaworski, Ryan Radke with you here on GTV. And right now, the Lions going to be kicking things off. It's Rich Melian to start the third quarter. Hilltoppers up 17-6. Melian, a good kick. Liebhart going to take it near the 5 left side. Bit of an opening. Makes his way up near the 20, and that's where the Toppers begin.
Liebhart on the run back for.
Nice return there by the Hilltoppers to get things started out across the 20-yard line. And, you know, Matt, we were talking about it. As we were just getting up to the half here about you want to see one of those drives. Like, remember the Hilltoppers last week against Camden came out of the locker room, 8-minute drive, scored a touchdown, really ate up the third quarter. If you're the Hilltoppers, you're looking for that again. Now, of course, if you score quick, you'll take it. I always leave that caveat in there.
Yeah.
But a nice, long, sustaining drive is what you're looking for here to open the second half.
Henry going to keep it himself, looking to cut up the middle. Henry makes his way near the 29-yard line. A nice run.
And his helmet's off again.
Every time!
And I don't know what that was, but that has to be a personal foul. Yeah, that was ridiculous. I don't know. They were helping him up, and they dropped him back down. I don't know that I've ever seen that.
Now, officials trying to stop this stuff from happening.
They're going to make sure they gain some control.
And I think they might have just lost the young man.
Yep.
Brody Jamison, the senior defensive end.
And I want to point out his coach is not angry with the officials. His coach is talking to his player right now. So the coach didn't like what he saw out there either.
Take his helmet from him!
So Henry ran the ball, had the helmet ripped off, and then was pushed back down to the ground. There's going to be a personal foul penalty tacked on to the end of that play. We'll give the Hilltoppers a first down. Officials spot the ball on the 44 of Chardon.
I just have never seen that before, Matt. That was usually that's a sign that the scrum is over when they're helping each other up. Never seen them someone drop a player back down. It's a little ridiculous.
Well, the definition of an unsportsmanlike conduct.
Yeah,
penalty.
that is what that penalty is there for.
Francis going to hand it off, looking to get something going, but going nowhere. I believe that was Pettijohn,
And just nothing opening up on the outside now. There are a couple drives where the Hilltoppers were getting those corners open, getting around to the outside, but the Lions have done a nice job to adjust back, and they really have things closed off. Again, Pettijohn can't turn the corner there because there's 4 linebackers waiting to tackle him.
So I need to make a correction here. Brody Jamison was not ejected. He remains in the game. He was just told to go off for a play.
Tell him to go cool down.
Yeah. Man in motion. Henry going to go up the middle himself. Henry hurdles one man, clears the 45 out near the 46, just past the original line of scrimmage. Toppers will face a 3rd down and long.
Yeah, so you pick up a few yards there. You're able to, get yourself back in front of the chains, but you're still facing a 3rd down and 8 here. And
Trey Liebhart will check into the game. Chardon got down in this one 6-0, but they rolled off 17 unanswered prior to halftime. Henry feeling some pressure, looking to throw, and he will dump it off. It looks like there's going to be
yeah, that was a late hit on Henry. Henry was already out of bounds.
Boy, the Hilltoppers trying to get their players together.
It's getting chippy to a ridiculous level, Matt.
Yeah.
We're less than 2 minutes into the 3rd quarter. The officials need to get a handle on what's happening on the field.
Certainly you can hear some of the parents around us not happy either.
No.
Can't blame them.
No, like I said, this is chippy to a ridiculous level.
Of course, now you have to wonder how this is all going to play out with what these penalties, because there is a flag that actually came out before that before the personal foul.
So that's what they're going to have to figure out here. What that flag was thrown on. The first flag probably, you probably got one against Chardon and one against,
holding against Chardon.
Yep.
Personal foul against the Lions.
So you take 10 yards off for the hold, then you take 15 from that spot for the personal foul, and you enter that into your calculator, and you end up with a 3rd down and 6 at the 48.
Yeah, at the high school level, it's not an automatic first down.
And that equation will be on your calculus test.
Henry wants his team to huddle up. Officials are still getting themselves situated.
Yeah, there should be a play clock here now for the Hilltoppers to talk about this.
There they go. Vuyaklia going in motion. Henry going to throw it down the middle of the field. And A.J. Bruce was tackled. Officials not calling anything on that one. That ball might have been just a little bit overthrown.
That ball was a little bit overthrown. So the officials are obviously deciding that was uncatchable, and that's why they didn't throw a flag.
Go ahead, say it.
I don't know about that. I just don't know about that. Bruce was clearly being held back there by Vada.
If anything, it's defensive holding, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, Vada definitely impacted the outcome of that play.
Evans now back to punt, standing his own 35. High punt. Schmansky taking it at the 15 left side, 25-30, 35, up near the 40 where he's brought down. In on the stop was Donovan Conwell.
Well, the bottom line is, as we see Evans looking to help stretch Florida Baptist player out, and the trainer's going to come out and do it. Bottom line is,
that's sportsmanship right there for you.
Bottom line is you can't worry about what the officials did if you're Chardon. Now you got to get a stop. So that series is over. You may not like the way the officials adjudicated it. It's done. You got to move on. You got to get your stop, get the football back, and go again on offense.
We're going to take an injury timeout here on GTV. Well, Jaden Booker back out on the offensive side of the ball for the Lions. We saw him get injured late in the second half with under a minute to go. And the good news is the young man able to return to the field to play. We first down at 10, First Baptist Academy from the 41. Chardon showing some blitz. High snap, Crossan brought it down and he was hammered.
Mario Tolo gets back there, coming around the left side, and Crossan got the football, thought he had time, did not see Tolo coming from the back side of that play.
Six-yard loss, 2nd and 16 from the 35. Crossan claps his hands, gonna fake the handoff, looking to throw, ball is caught up toward the 45, and a nice run by Spiricchio.
Yeah, he was able to make a couple of tacklers miss and keep that play going. Ends up setting up 3rd down and manageable here for his offense.
Now it's the one thing we have heard year in, year out here in Chardon. You gotta get those guys. You can't give them second and third chances with broken tackles. 3rd and 4 now from the 47. Ball thrown left side, it's caught. Good move to break one tackle, breaking another. Then knocked out of bounds was Schmansky. Picks up a first down into Hilltopper territory out near the 39.
We talked about it pregame, a lot of athletes on this team, Matt, and when they get out into open space, they will make you miss, and a couple of missed tackles there, and this Florida Baptist offense is moving as well as we've seen it move yet today.
Well, their lone score came when the Hilltoppers turned the ball over. They then drove down the field and got a touchdown reception. Brooks gonna run it left side. Brooks trying to make some guys miss. He cannot do it. Brooks limited to about a 3-yard gain on that run right side.
Lazinski gets out there and makes the stop for the Hilltoppers. Nice play, staying with Brooks, limiting him to a couple.
Second down and 8. Ethan Crossan gets the ball, looking to throw, quickly right side, it's caught. And getting the first down along the right side and picking up more yards is Olson Henry moving the chains.
Good play call there. We talk about how difficult Henry is to bring down in the open field, run a quick bubble screen for him. No one's defending him, and he's immediately in open space, and you got to make an open field tackle on him.
Well, one of the things that I think we've noticed is now Henry's slow getting up. But they are not giving the sophomore quarterback a lot of time to throw. Coach Spiricchio wants quick throws. They'll move Booker to the right now, the QB. And they hand it off. Booker going forward. Picks up the first down across the 30 out near the 27.
Solid run by Booker there, able to go up the middle and move the chains.
And Fetchick went down to a knee. He is got an issue. He's going to be helped off the field. Now, he will not make it off the field. And with that, we will pause and take an injury timeout here on GTV. Hilltopper defense just lost Heath Fetchick on this play. He had to be helped to the sideline. Hopefully Heath is going to be okay. Huge part of that defense. First and 10 now, Lions from the Hilltopper 27. High snap, they're going to dump it up right side to Henry, and Henry pushes himself forward. He took a couple toppers with him towards that first down.
Well, you could see the adjustments. They're not dropping back. They're not going to air the ball out. Everything is short and quick, a lot of screen passes. So the quarterback doesn't have to spend a lot of time back there in the backfield waiting to get sacked. And then you get your size advantage to the receivers. You get them the ball in open space where open field tackles have to be made on them. Those are the adjustments the Lions have made in the locker room offensively, and they're working for them on this drive.
Nearing the halfway mark of the third quarter. Topper showing some blitz, and the question is, who moved?
That was definitely encroachment. I don't think you're going to get a lot of fan buy-in on this side, but Hilltoppers, someone over there on that far side, they came across the plane, Matt. That's going to be encroachment. It's going to move the chains enough for a first down here for the Lions. That was the right call.
Now from the 14. Crossing will hand it off to Brooks. Brooks up the middle toward the end zone, and he is in. Touchdown. 14-yard run.
Whatever adjustments the Lions made at halftime, Matt, that was untouched between the tackles, right up the middle into the end zone for a touchdown for Booker. So whatever adjustments they made, they moved the ball as effectively as we've seen anyone move the football against this Hilltopper defense this year on that drive.
And now the question is, what do they decide to do here? Go for two or kick the PAT?
You didn't fly up here from Florida to kick the PAT. They're going to go for two, Matt, and try to make it a field goal game.
Two receivers left, one to the right. Booker in the backfield next to Crossan, who's in the gun. They fake it to Booker. Crossan is brought down. Two-point conversion, no good.
Good work there by the Hilltoppers on defense. Everyone was in on that one, Matt. They brought everybody. Crossan had nowhere to go, and they're able to bring them down. So 0 for 2 on point afters for the Lions today. The Hilltoppers hold on to a 5-point game.
Well, that field goal, that 48-yard field goal from Evans with about 17, 18 seconds left prior to halftime, looming large now.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a big field goal, able to get that one in from 48 yards. Offensively here, if you're the Hilltoppers now, you got to regroup. You had that tough drive to start the second half. Now you got to pick up your defense here and put a drive together and see if maybe you can score, see if you can eat up most of the rest of this third quarter here.
Hilltoppers need to eat some clock. They need to get something going here. Got to give that defense some time to settle down and make some adjustments of their own. Coach Landis will think of something.
Yeah, the Lions definitely made changes to the way they were operating offensively in the locker room, and they came out with an adjusted plan, and they were able to march right down the field, and you expected that from this team. This is a really good football program.
Bruce fields it at the 10, coming near side, 20, 25, 30. Bruce to the 40, knocked out of bounds near the 45. Great return by A.J. Bruce.
Able to break a couple tackles, had a couple guys dive at him. He stepped right over that, and everything is about the first step to taking momentum back. Step one was stopping the 2-point conversion. Now step two, the big return. This is what the Hilltoppers did last time the Lions scored. They effectively took momentum right back away from them. And the Hilltoppers are doing that again here with two big plays, one on defense and one on the return.
They begin with the ball on the 45. Henry from the gun. Tight wing tee. Sends Drago in motion. Drago has the call. Was stopped near the 45, no gain.
Yeah.
Boy, Henry was brought down by the face mask and no call on that.
And once again, you see on a run play to the outside, just nothing opening up there. Too many white shirts, too many defenders. You can't turn a corner right now if you're the Hilltoppers. And they're just not able to get forward momentum to this offense right now.
See what they have dialed up here. 2nd and 9 from the 46. Drago again going in motion. It's going to be Henry, and Henry stopped in the backfield. No help.
Well, it's one of the best defenders for them, Rich Mellon, the linebacker.
A late flag comes out. Personal foul against Chardon. Something was said.
Something was said.
Hilltoppers just inflict some significant damage in their hopes on this drive.
You were already facing a long situation. Now it's even longer. It's 3rd and really long. They need to get to the Lion 45 for the first down, and they're back on their own 29 here. That's 3rd down and, what is that, 26?
Yeah.
The math's not my strong suit.
No, you nailed it.
All right, there you go.
3rd and 26. Topper's going to run the football and pick up a couple yards there, coming near side. That was WeWereAthletes. Will be a punting situation now for Joseph Evans.
Picks up about 5, and you'll see if Joseph Evans can pin a long punt here and pin the Lions inside the 20. It would be a really long punt to do that. The returner is lining up at the 30.
Evans has had some nice punts today, including one that pinned FBA back inside the 2. High punt. And going to take a Lion bounce as it comes back across the 35. Will be down near the 36. And now a late flag comes out, and this will be against the Hilltoppers.
I was going to say, when you get into a scrum, it becomes a matter of who the official saw. And we'll have to sort this penalty out, as it looks like there's a Lion down on the field.
We'll take a timeout and come back with more on GTV. There will be offsetting penalties called on that play, if I understood the official. Rob Reyes had to be helped off the field. FBA comes out on the field. They'll have a 1st and 10 from their own 46. They work their way right to left. Quick throw, ball's up in the air. It's intercepted. The Hilltoppers get the pick.
That was the play the Hilltoppers needed. I believe it was Lazinski who got a hand on it. Then the question is, who was sitting there waiting for the pop-up?
Well, not quite sure who, but it don't matter. Hilltoppers have the ball. They create their first turnover, or the first Lion turnover of the game.
Second interception, of course, A.J. Bruce had the big one in the first half. Hilltoppers were able to turn that one into points. Let's see if they can turn this into points again here.
Well, Hilltoppers need something to get going. Henry dropping back the pass, feeling some pressure, flushing out right side. Henry gonna run near side toward the tent. Picks up some yards there.
Changing the look a little bit, dialing up a deep drop on the QB run that time for Henry. Enabled him to get around to the outside and opened up enough space for him to pick up 5 yards on first down.
Second and 5 for the Hilltopper offense. Defense did its part on that last drive, and now it's up to the offense. Henry has the boys close to him, and he will hand the ball off. Fay picks up a hard-earned yard to the 35.
And it looked like that was Jose Cintron who got in there and made the big stop.
3rd down and 4.
Not sure why everyone suddenly got so animated.
Nope. Clock running, 2:10 and counting here. Toppers come to the line. Up by 5. They'll spread it out. Liebhardt out left along with Bruce in the slot. Henry fake the throw, gonna come up near side, and Henry very close to that 1st down marker.
Yeah, good work. I think where they're spotting him.
Gonna be a call for the chain gang to decide.
Yeah, they're gonna need to come out here and measure this. This is awfully close. Trying to eye it up down the sideline. I'm pretty much saying the right spot. I think maybe the nose of the football where they said it might be across. Oh, they're not gonna measure.
Nope, they're going to say a half-yard shy. Okay. Interesting. The official signaled for them to come out, but then didn't. Okay. Half-yard to go for Chardon on 4th down. Across the line and getting the 1st down is Henry.
Yeah, you give it to your senior quarterback there and tell him dive, and that's what Alex Henry does. 1st down, moves the chains. He's not afraid to take the contact, not afraid to take the hits.
Chardon now has a 1st and 10 from the 29. Handoff, Fetchick running room. Fetchick across the 20, down near the 17.
Comes right around
And
the
a
right
late flag.
side, and FBA is going to take a personal foul penalty as well. Nice blocking on the outside that time to open things up for Fetchick.
Ryan, I just cannot remember seeing this many personal fouls called in 1 quarter of a game in my life.
No, and the scary thing is it's only the 3rd quarter, so tensions can only get higher in this game.
Now we saw Fetchick leave the field on the other end prior to the interception, needed some help, but was back in, and that looked like he's completely fine.
Well, he's been a big part of the running attack today. He's got that touchdown run. That was a big run for a 1st down.
I will. Wow. The FBA player who was called for the personal foul has been ejected.
I believe that was number 14, Dominic Martucci, the defensive lineman.
Fetchick lowers his shoulder, going forward, spinning around, and Fetchick down to the 5.
Yeah, he just got to the line of scrimmage, knew he was going to absorb contact, took it, kept the legs moving, and picks up a good chunk of yardage.
Toppers are in the and goal situation. So it's now 2nd and goal from the 5. Liebhardt, the split end right side. Henry going to keep it himself, trying to get around the end. Henry hit hard at the 5 near side.
There's that good discipline from that defense of FBA. Not going to let anything open up to the outside.
Uh-oh. Henry down at the end of the 3rd quarter. Folks, we're going to pause and take a timeout. When we come back, we'll start the fourth here on GTV.
The Chardon Hilltopper Gridiron Club, in association with GTV, proudly presents Chardon Hilltopper Varsity Football. Today's game is brought to you by the Chardon Smile Center, Roniak Paving, Burr Funeral Home and Cremation Service, El Patron Mexican Grill and Cantina, Hazen Asphalt, Paving and Seal Coat, The Arms Trucking Company, Realtor Beth Felger at Keller Williams Realty, Patai and Mark F. Burr Funeral Homes, Dan McCaskey and Terry Combs, the McCaskey Team, Remax Traditions, the Junction Auto Family, Conic Law LLC, Brock Construction, Precision Orthopedics, Ashes Mayfield Window Cleaning Company and the Chardon Athletic Boosters, and by GTV.
Fourth quarter set to begin here from Chardon Memorial. Matt Jaworski, Ryan Radke with you. Alex Henry able to walk off the field under his own power. That's a good sign. Liebhart in at QB. Liebhart going to go up the middle himself, and Trey pushed the line forward a bit, but shy of the end zone. And now, if you're the Hilltoppers, what do you do facing a 4th and goal from inside the 5?
Well, this is decision time, right? It's in the Hilltoppers' makeup to go for it on 4th and 2 in these situations. Of course, a field goal here makes it an 8-point game. But I see Alex Henry putting it's not in the Hilltoppers' DNA, Matt, to play it safe and kick the field goal here. It's in their DNA to go for a touchdown, and if you don't convert, to trust your defense to get a stop on a 99-yard field. That's how the Hilltoppers are built, and that's what they're coming out to do here.
4th and goal from the 3. Fetchick and Fade, the guys in the backfield. Henry under center. Henry will hand it off. Toppers toward the end zone. Stopped just shy.
They went to Fetchick again. He scored on the goal line earlier in the game. He was not able to cross the plane here.
So the Hilltoppers will turn it over on downs. And folks, we're going to be taking another injury timeout. This time it's one of the Lions. Looks like Kevin Nelson may be having some cramping issues. We'll be back with when play resumes here on GTV. Well, FBA will have to take this 99 yards if they want to score a touchdown. 98 yards if they want to score a touchdown. Let's see what they do. Crossing, going to give it up to Booker. Booker makes a cut, tries to break a few tackles out near the 5, up to about the 6, giving his team some running room.
Yeah, nice work there by Booker. He's a strong runner. We talked about it in the first half. He looks like he's already built and ready to go for the next level, and you saw that strong running base there, picking up about 5 yards.
Crossing. Did somebody call it? I can't see from my viewpoint, Ryan. If someone called the timeout, if there was a flag.
There was a flag that flew in the end zone. I think it's in the area of a legal procedure. Yep. Within half the distance, I believe. Make it 2nd down and 8.
Crossing, waiting for the call to come in. Topper showing a little bit of blitz. Crossing, looking down the field. The ball is caught by Henry. Henry. Helmet comes off, and he is down near the 40-45.
And that, I believe as soon as that helmet comes off in that situation, the play has to be blown dead. So that's the end of the play. But that was a big catch down there by Henry. They've had him well covered today, but this is a D1 recruit. He's going to get open like that sometime, and now they're going to make the decision to throw a flag on the Hilltoppers. And it was for the face mask pulling that helmet off. I was wondering if they were going to throw it. They were discussing it, and it was the decision they made. So tack on 15 to that, and what looked like a 99-yard field has the Lions into Hilltopper territory on 2 plays.
Quickly shrank.
Yes.
Penalty yards, 7 for 85 for FBA, 7 for 75 for Chardon, according to the scoreboard. But you clearly see the impressive player that is Olsen Henry in this contest. And he does give a few yards up to Bruce. Booker gets the call, 40, breaking 1 tackle on his feet, runs through Bruce, and then knocked out of bounds. And now FBA, they are just rolling.
Well, they're starting to use their athleticism. They're starting to use their size. They've got a lot of athletes who are just dangerous in space. Very hard to bring down in the open field. And, that time you try to go in for a low tackle on Booker. You're not going to bring Booker down on a low tackle. He's going to step right out of that, which is what he did. And he just kept the motor running, and it's a first down.
From the 25, they give it to Booker again. Booker, stutter step, does not get much.
Trying to go up the middle against this front is a difficult thing to do, and even with all of Booker's strength, you're not going to run up the middle very often against the Hilltoppers. They did on that touchdown run, but that's a rarity. That time there are about 7 black jerseys there for the stop.
No gain. 2nd and 10. Bad snap. Crossan picks it up, keeps it going. Crossan going to be slammed down to the ground by Kisley or near the 40. Boy, that was big.
Well, the Hilltoppers will make you pay for that mistake every time. You're not going to get away with that against Chardon. And Kisley just kept coming, and has been the case all day long. Tyler Fink has not had the advantage in the matchup with Alex Kisley. Kisley's been beating the left tackle every time. He beats him again, and that high snap results in a big loss.
3rd and really long. Ball spotted on the 38. That's where forward progress was. Looking to throw. Ball is caught by Henry. Breaks a couple. Hilltoppers miss. He's in the end zone. Touchdown from 37 yards out.
Nice route run there by Henry. That's, you talk about the size and the strength. That route he ran is why he's a D1 receiver. Bruce thought he was with him step for step, and Henry just a 2-step hook in, and he's able to make the catch. I mean, the quarterback Crossan hits him right on the go, and he's past Bruce now. He's able to take off for the go. He beat Bruce on a good route. That's it. And that's why he's a D1 recruit. Plays like that.
FBA calling a timeout here to think this one over. And Ryan, you've got some words for us.
Yeah, GTV is still providing live audio-only coverage of Hilltopper football home and away on GTV Channel 1025. You can listen to the Toppers in the comfort of your own home with the score on the screen and the golden tones of Matt, bringing you all the action. So if you can't make it to the game, be sure to tune in to the Toppers on GTV Channel 1025. Next week's game at Riverside will be audio-only on GTV Cable Channel 1025. Kickoff at 7 p.m.
Ryan, how big is that game next week at Riverside?
Well, Chardon Riverside, it's one of those matchups that always feels like a big game when the two teams meet, right? And, that's going to be a huge game. It's going to kick off conference play. Riverside is a very good squad this year. They have a very good coach, and we're going to be in for every week. It's going to be another tough one for the Hilltoppers next week.
I'll ask you this question next week. I'll just pose it to you now. Could that be for the league title? You never know. Booker on the run. Booker trying to be pushed forward. Booker keeps going. Officials will say no. Hilltoppers deny him.
At some point in time, you got to call forward progress. So FBA has not converted on one after touchdown attempt today, but they have a 1-point lead here, 18-17 with 8:37 to go, and all the momentum on their side right now. This is up to the Hilltopper offense right now. The offense needs to stay on the field for a long time for their defense, really move the ball down, and now it's the fourth quarter and you're down. You got to end in points on this drive.
Well, not only do you have to end in points, but you can't self-destruct either anymore.
This is a good team. You know, we knew coming in this was going to be a tough. We knew coming into the season the first 4 or 5 weeks was a gauntlet, and it just keeps on going here.
FBA, the number 2 ranked team in what they call S2 in Florida. Their, I guess, division, if you will. Interesting how they have it down there. They have like what they call inner city divisions. Then they have the rural divisions. They have the suburban divisions, which is what FBA is a part of. They really break it up down there.
It's an interesting philosophy for putting things together.
But going back to that game next week, just keep that in mind. I mean, the way that all the media pundits have been talking as of late, and especially after Riverside's performance last night, that it could be a week 1 decision right there between those 2 schools for the league title.
Yeah, it's definitely a big game coming next week, but the focus right now is on this fourth quarter, down by 1 point here, and putting a drive together here at home.
High kick. Liebhardt from the 2. Up to the 10, 15, and brought down at the 20.
Nice run up there by Liebhardt. So we're going to have probably some more cramping going on.
Well, we're going to take another timeout. Couple Lions trying to tackle Liebhardt collided into one another. One was able to get off the ground. The other, unfortunately, still down on the ground. With that, we will pause and come back with more here on GTV. Well, unfortunately, Brody Jamison, needing to be helped from the field, could not put any weight on his left leg. That could be a big blow for FBA as he was their starting defensive end.
And he's been a big part of everything. They remember also on that defensive line, they saw number 14, Dom Martucci, be thrown out of the game. So a couple down on that defensive front right now are the Lions.
Henry makes an adjustment, puts a man in motion, Pettyjohn.
Left early.
And won't count, wave it off.
Oh, we got another Lion cramping up down there at the point of attack.
You know, I hate to say this, from Florida, you know, you'd think they'd be a little bit used to this heat and humidity up here.
That's the thing. We walked out here on the field today and we knew it was muggy, and we were wondering, is it muggy by Florida standards? I think that's how muggy it is today, Matt. It's muggy by Florida standards because even the First Baptist players are having their struggles with it.
Folks, we'll step aside again here on GTV. Well, Stanley Elsma had to be helped from the field, and that means that the Lions down to just one starter on the defensive line playing on this play.
And we were wrong when we went to break. We thought the call was going to be a legal procedure against the Hilltoppers. The call is actually encroachment there against the Lions. So, but the Lions are down to one starter on that defensive line right now.
Topper sent a man in motion. They hand it off. Caleb Hewitt trying to cut up left side. Couldn't do it.
And they're waiting to come up and make the stop there for the Lions was Hosea Booker.
Well, there had to be some kind of jersey change because 40's listed as Brandon Drotlef, but that's no way that's the sophomore out on the field wearing 40, so I'm not sure who that is in the backfield. Trying to get outside, Hewitt bounces off a player up near the 30, should be close to the first down. He does, and he gets it.
Yeah, someone's jersey got ripped. Something happened.
That might be Faye wearing 40.
It's going to be 3rd down and 10 here for the Hilltoppers.
So 1st and 10, Chardon from the 33. They're looking to go outside again. This time it's Drago. Drago across the 40. Drago pushed out of bounds, and boy, late extracurriculars again.
And the
this time it's Logan Bartley.
And the extracurriculars are going to give the Hilltoppers plenty enough for 1st down on that play. Where they were going to mark them out, they were going to be 2 yards shy. So he plenty enough on the personal foul to move the chains. Drago gets to the outside. The unnamed number 40 throws a nice block there to open things up down the sideline.
It has to be Faye. I don't see him anywhere else. Chardon now into FBA territory, 1st and 10.
FBA now over 100 yards penalty.
And that time, nothing going there. The carpet got him. Drago just got tripped up.
I was saying that was a turf monster there on Drago. Not sure what happened.
He might have. Henry fell down as well. Him and Henry might have just got tangled up on that.
Goes as a loss of 2.
Caleb Hewitt re-enters the game. Pettyjohn will head to the sideline. Clock running, 7:55 and counting here from Chardon Memorial. Matt Jaworski, Ryan Radke with you. Toppers trailing by 1, 18-17. Loose ball on the ground, and they will cover it up. Or maybe not. FBA says they have it. They do. Caleb Hewitt just was not able to get to it.
That ball was a bit of a loose ball on the turf there. Hewitt tried to dive on it, ended up rolling over. When he rolled over, that put the ball in the hands of a Lion. That is a poorly timed turnover here in the 4th quarter, as the Lions will get the ball back in Hilltopper territory with a chance to extend this lead.
So the ball on midfield, and now the Topper defense needs to get a stop here. They have not had an answer for First Baptist Academy here in the 2nd half.
No, we talked about it early in the 3rd quarter. It was clear the Lions had made some adjustments in the locker room, and those adjustments they made, what those adjustments did is it helped them get their athletes in open space where they could make plays. Also, they're getting the ball out of the backfield quicker. So there's still been a couple of sacks, but they've limited those big defensive plays the Hilltoppers are making in the 1st half.
Booker coming left side, and Booker out near the 38.
Good work there by Trey Leadpart. Makes solid contact with the big running back, able to force him down.
2nd and 3, and it seems the Lions, when they're not inflicting damage upon themselves with penalties, are starting to gain larger and larger chunks of ground.
Yeah, they're a really good football program. They had a lot of talent down there, and they've come out here in the 2nd half and have to this point outscored the Hilltoppers 12-0 in the half.
Quick throw to Olsen Henry, and knocked out of bounds shy of the 30, but that will be a 1st down for FBA.
Again, that's a quick curl, and there's not much Hewitt can do there. Henry pulls away from Hewitt with enough to make the catch, and it's a big size advantage for Henry in open space, and he's able to get the 1st down and move the chains.
Well, the Hilltoppers just don't have an answer for the young man who's playing at Clemson next year. Call comes in from the sideline. Crossing, going to hand it off Booker. Booker wrapped up and dropped at the 30. Gain of about 3.
Austin Lazinski able to come in there and make the stop on Booker. It's about 5 minutes to go, and the Lions are doing two things right now, Matt. Not only are they methodically moving the ball and getting those positive yards, but as I said, methodically, they are eating into the remaining game clock here.
Now they're doing what Chardon has been unable to do in the second half, and that's put a long drive together. Trips to the left receiver. It's Olsen near side. Ball up in the air, and it is going to be incomplete, and there's a flag coming out. A.J. Bruce in on the coverage.
That's a tough call to take. I think I could see where maybe they might think he was pulling the receiver down. But that's going to be a tough call to take down on the far side of the field. Bruce is lined up on the near side, so that might be Trey down there.
Was that Trey? You're right.
But that's going to give a first down to Florida Baptist, so they're knocking on the door. A touchdown and a PAT gives them an 8-point lead.
Two to the left, a receiver to the right. High snap, Booker gets the call, bouncing, trying to bounce out left side, no. Gained a couple yards on that run.
Fetchick able to come in and make the nice stop to keep Booker from getting into the open field. Booker was really close from breaking past that first level. Might have been a touchdown saving tackle there by Fetchick. Clock keeps running.
Crowd silent here at Chardon Memorial.
So you could hear a pin drop in here right now.
And now they start to get loud. Very pivotal possession here for FBA. They're looking to throw toward the end zone. It is caught for the touchdown.
And look, that's perfect coverage on the far side of the field. There's nothing you can do. That is a big receiver who runs a perfect route, makes a big catch. That was perfectly defended down there, but Pettit has the size advantage. He goes up, makes a great catch. Can't do anything else if you're the Hilltoppers. This is a team loaded with D1 talent, and it is on display here in the second half.
Now this is interesting. A PAT here makes it an 8-point game. The question is, if you're FBA, do you go for two and try to put it away right here, right now?
I mean, we don't see them enough to know their tendencies. I think I would, though. You know, I took the long plane ride up here. We have a comeback from behind win in our grasps right now.
They're going for it, folks.
I think that's the call I would make as well. And now the Hilltoppers are going to want to talk about it. Oh, no. FBA is going to talk about it. That's what I would do. I know it seems like an aggressive move, but I went a long way to come here. I've come a long way back. It's still a 7-point game if I don't convert. I think I would go for the opportunity to make it a 2-possession game. I think I would line up and go for 2 as well. They're 0 for 2 going for 2 today, but they're 0 for 1 on the PAT. So well, hey, high school sports are just a part of our programming lineup on GTV. Our coverage continues all year long for Cardinal, Notre Dame Cathedral Latin, and Chardon sports. We're beginning our 27th year this fall. Can't believe it's been that long. We're covering second-generation players now. Anyway, you can check channels 1020 and 1025 in the GTV website, www.geaugatv.org, regularly for replay dates and times. Also, don't forget the community and school bulletin board services provided 24 hours a day on GTV 1020 and 1025. Once again, the website, www.geaugatv.org for details.
2-point conversion attempt. Crossing and give it to Booker. Booker trying to go forward. No! Denied again.
So the Hilltoppers defense keeps it a one-score game, and the Lions are 0 for 3 on their two-point conversion attempts today. No surprising there. It's a really good Hilltopper defense they're trying to convert those against.
So right now, the Hilltoppers, based just on the clock situation, Ryan, and how we know this offense rolls, will get one last crack at it. But it would be big if they could get a return from either Bruce. Check that, that's not Bruce, that's Caleb Hewitt going back now in place of A.J. Bruce. So either Caleb Hewitt or Trey Liebhart. And I wonder if Rich Mellion may pooch this one a little bit, not wanting to give the speedsters a chance to do something with it.
Yeah, you don't want to give up a big play on the kickoff here if you're FBA.
They're going to give it to Liebhart, takes it at the 5, ahead to the 10. 15, right side, 20, 25, Liebhart, 30, down near the 35.
X up on that controller as Liebhart hurdles a defender. Big play there from Trey. And, you know, you turn to a senior like Trey Liebhart who plays with a ton of energy, and he makes a big play on the return to kind of try to get things rolling here.
So Liebhart will remain in the game. That could be key. Alex Henry bringing the call out. Henry looking to throw and has it nearly picked off in and out of the hands of Millen.
Well, he's a really good linebacker. We've talked about he's maybe the best defender for the Lions, and he just read Henry's eyes there. Knew exactly where that throw was going, and he jumped out in front of it, nearly picked it off, but he knocked it down. You know, step A is to knock it down. Step B is to complete the interception if you can. But I think he looked ahead of him and saw the potential touchdown and just dropped the ball, couldn't hold on to it.
Second and 10 now for Chardon. And the scissor play, the Hilltoppers put the ball on the ground, and FBA thinks they've come up with it. They have.
Tried to run the scissor play, and they tried to reverse that. Liebhart tries to give it back, and the Hilltoppers turn the ball over with 3:21 to play, and now they're going to have to use their 3 timeouts. Got to get 3 stops. Got to get 3 stops, lose 3 timeouts. So, where we'll be as FBA is going to come out.
Well, Chardon losing the turnover battle 3-1.
Yeah, the crowd has gone quiet. It's time to get loud here, folks. You're 3 stops away from getting the football back. It's time to get loud and make some noise here.
Now they're waiting for them to come to the line.
Gotta
there
believe.
They go. Crossing gives it to Booker. Booker meets the D-line and goes nowhere.
And there's stop number 1. Nice play there. You have the entire defensive front, meaning you're not going to let that one run between the tackles. And the Hilltoppers will quickly use a timeout. Got to make 3 stops here, make FBA make a decision on 4th down, and get the football back for your offense with a chance at a 2-minute drive. That was a nice play on 1st down to get to the line of scrimmage and make that stop.
The Hilltoppers have not lost a contest in their last 30 games.
It's been a long winning streak. That's going back to the final game of the 2019 season for the Hilltoppers.
lost to Aurora in a game that they were actually leading at halftime.
At the halftime lead today, FBA has come out and outscored the Hilltoppers 18-0 here in the second half.
Lions have been as impressive as Bill, but I'll tell you what, folks, for these Hilltoppers, no D1 recruits, they're hanging in there pretty darn good.
Yeah, I mean, this was going to be a tough opponent coming in, but the Hilltoppers, they're right here at the end of the game with a chance to win it. A couple more stops.
They fake the handoff, and Kisley's in the backfield again. No, check that. That's Cooper Felger.
Yeah, Cooper Felger gets back there, makes the big stop. Lean it on your seniors. The Hilltoppers take a timeout, and it's a situation here. If you can get a stop on third down, FBA is out of field goal range. Big play by Cooper Felger to get the sack.
Well, the Chardon D trying to make a last stand here, giving the offense something. And right now, should the Chardon Hilltoppers get the ball back offensively, you have to wonder how much from a confidence standpoint they have, considering they've turned the ball over twice their last 2 possessions.
Look, you're at home. Your defense. You're at home. If your defense gives you the football back, you're feeling pretty confident. I mean, you've got a quarterback who hasn't lost. You know he's going to believe he can get down the field and get you into the end zone. So you're going to be feeling pretty confident if you get the football back here. If you get the football back, you're in a position to still win this game. That's all you can ask for.
Fans on their feet making noise. You hear the cowbells, feet stomping, cheering on these young men. Crossing, looking to throw. Ball is dropped.
That ball was just a little bit underthrown, Matt. Caused Szymanski to have to come back to it. And the ball just hit his hands and fell out, and now it's the Lions who do the Hilltoppers a favor, as the Hilltoppers don't have to use a timeout here on the incomplete pass.
The Lions, we saw them do it on their first possession, went for the fake punt. Keep that in the back of your mind. Rich Melian.
He's lined up to punt right now.
He does a bit of a pooch punt, and Fetchik will watch it roll into the end zone.
It's going to be a touchback. Unable to control that one. Tried to knock it down and control it. Did the player for FBA, just couldn't do it. He's trying to say.
That was Jaden Pettit.
But, yeah, Pettit, you took the football into the end zone with your momentum. That's not killing it.
So here's the situation, folks. Alex Henry and company will have the ball. First down and 10 from the 20. They need to go all 80 yards. They need the touchdown. They have to do it in 2:52 with 1 timeout to spare.
You have your chance to tie it. This game is not over. And you have a timeout left thanks to that incomplete pass from FBA.
Leo Columbi lines up as a split end to the left side. 2 receivers left for Chardon. Henry dropping, looking to throw. Left side, in and out of the hands of his intended target. Was looking for Liebhardt, could not hang on to it.
Threw it into the tightest of windows. Liebhardt dove for it, couldn't get there. That was good defensive coverage by Jose Cintron down there. Brings up second down and 10.
Clock stopped, 2:47 to play. Henry gonna go down the right side, incomplete, threw it over everybody.
Trying to get into a receiver. There are a lot of white jerseys in the area. It's going to bring up third down. We have another Lion down on the field.
Logan Bartley, the cornerback, down. And I'll tell you what, the Hilltoppers clearly are the better team when it comes to being prepared for this weather.
Yeah, the Hilltoppers are cramping up a lot less. And I actually asked Coach Hewitt before the game if he was worried about the weather and the heat. And he said absolutely not. The guys were ready, and they have been. So
Well, Logan Bartley being worked on here. We will take a timeout. Chardon facing a 3rd down and 10 from the 20. First down or bust for this offense right now.
Yeah, you got 2 downs to do it in, and
Toppers will give it to A.J. Bruce, and Bruce able to gain just a yard. And Bruce, we did not see the explosion that we normally see on his run right there. We talked with
Red Rosano in there for the stop.
We talked with Coach Hewitt last week prior to the Camden game, and his concern was potential injuries in the stretch that they're going through right now. Obviously, this is a good learning experience for this team, pitting themselves up against some of the best in the nation. But on the other hand, you'd like to come through it healthy. Both sides, though, have taken their toll. 4th and 9. And now, timeout has been. First Baptist calling a timeout. That was their last.
Probably wanted to see what the Hilltoppers were lining up in. Now they can plan their defensive approach, what they want to do here on 4th down. 4th and 9, if you're First Baptist, you just want to make sure you don't give up that big play. You'll get the ball back at Chardon's 21 with less than 2 minutes left, and the Hilltoppers only 1 timeout. You'll be in good position. You just want to make sure you don't give up that big play here.
Well, indeed. Folks, do want to remind you, next week we will be in Riverside for that contest. Should be an epic battle between 2 schools that are great conference rivals. The coaches know one another very well, good friends in that aspect. If you can't make it out to Riverside to support your Hilltoppers, we'll have live audio streaming for you on GTV. Fourth down and 9. This is it. Henry has time, stepping up, throwing down the field. Caleb Hewitt makes the catch. Hewitt across midfield down the sideline into FBA territory.
Great work by the offensive line for the Hilltoppers. Henry had plenty of time. Caleb Hewitt runs a great route, is able to beat his receiver down the sideline. Henry hits him in stride. Great play by the Hilltoppers. Keeping this thing going.
Maybe FBA did Chardon a favor there, calling a timeout. Henry going to run up the middle. Henry looking to gain some yards, and Henry out to about the 37.
And now that's the play that opens things up for you, right? You make the big throw down the sideline, then you go to Alex Henry to run up the middle, and a helmet comes off, so the clock stops for you.
I don't know what it is in this game, and helmets coming off. You've seen it way too much. Henry sends a man in motion. They'll give it around the left, and it's Hewitt. Hewitt looking to bounce outside. Hewitt racing down the sideline and picks up the first down. I cannot see where they marked him out of bounds, folks. That fence, or that white tent, is in the way.
It's a nice run by Hewitt.
And it looks like we have another injury. The FBA trainer out on the field having to attend to a Lion player on the Hilltoppers sideline. So with that, we will step aside again here on GTV. Logan Bartley able to walk off to his sideline on his own power.
First and 10, Hilltoppers.
Toppers with a first down and 10 from the FBA 33. They are not going down without a fight. Bruce gets the call, trying to cut around left side. Bruce toward the sideline, and he did get out of bounds.
Picked up 5 yards, stopped the clock. Good run by Bruce. Exactly what you need in that situation. Keep moving closer to the end zone, and you get that clock stopped. Remember, the Hilltoppers do still have a timeout left in their pocket.
Henry gets his team set. Man in motion is Bruce. And they give it to Fetchik. Fetchik up the gut. Fetchik moving the pile forward. They pick up the first down out near the 20. That will temporarily stop the clock while they reset the chains.
Fetchik has been so huge in the running game today. He's got a rushing touchdown, a couple of big runs to move the chains, and there's another one. And see him dragging the pile there.
Toppers are trying to come set. Clock running. Under 1:10 to go. Boy, they're taking a lot of time. Now 1 minute to go. Henry keeps it himself, and Henry, nothing going there. And Chardon will not call the timeout. Down to 46 seconds to go. They got to hurry.
Come on, boys.
Clock now under 40. Pettyjohn in motion. Throw. Ball up in the air, left side. Incomplete. Passing interference penalty on FBA. Columbi was brought down.
Yeah, a play was never made at the football. It was made right at Columbi. It's going to be a half the distance to the goal situation here.
It stops the clock with 29 seconds left to go.
They'll put the Hilltoppers on the 9-yard line at 1st and goal. They were at 4th down and 9 all the way back in their own territory, but Matt, the game is never over. And they had one play left. They get the big play down the sideline, and everything offensively has opened up since.
Quick throw, left side, and incomplete. 4 seconds came off the clock on that one.
That's a situation, Matt, well, you'll take the incompletion. If that's complete and you get taken down there, you burned a lot of time. You're now in a situation where you got to give up that timeout. You'll take the call of an incomplete pass there from the officials. Only 4 seconds off the clock. You still got your timeout.
Second and goal from the 9. Flag.
We got encroachment against FBA.
Now Chardon staying disciplined on this last drive.
And penalties have been a problem for both teams, but particularly FBA, who is well over 100 yards in penalty yardage right now, 120 yards in penalties right now for FBA.
It moves the Toppers to the 4. And they want time put back on the clock. 25 seconds, I believe.
Second and goal to go from the 4-yard line.
Henry under center, man in motion. Hilltoppers burning a timeout. It was Fetchik who got the call. Fetchik
They tried for
very little on that run.
Yeah, they tried for Fetchik on that goal line dive. You don't get it. You're out of timeouts now. 21 seconds left. These next 2 plays you'd think are going to have to, well, the first play definitely has to be a throw. I guess on the second you can choose to run if you want, but you want to make sure you give yourself your chance at the 2 plays. So you feel like the first one has to be a throw, because if you throw, or because if you run and you don't get the first down, you got to get everyone back on the line. There's 21 seconds left. So if you get to the second play, you can run whatever you want, but on this first play here, it needs to be a throw, because it needs to be something that would stop the clock potentially if you don't complete.
Well, the important thing is you come away with this timeout having both of your plays called. The guys know what they are no matter what. Now, here's the other thing. You have to be disciplined right now. They cannot afford any kind of illegal procedure or false start.
No, yeah, that's the last thing you could take right now. You got to go up there. You got to line up. It's been a good drive for them. They've stayed away from the penalties on this drive. Go out there and do it for one more play. Run something quick. If this is a throw, it has to be to the end zone. You don't want to throw short of the end zone and not make it in and knock it out of bounds. So if this is, in fact, a throw, it's a throw to the end zone. You either complete it or you don't. Then if you want to, you can run the ball on 4th down.
Chardon Memorial is ready to erupt if they can get it in. 3rd and goal from the 4. Henry flushing out left side, looking to throw. Has a man! Touchdown, Hilltoppers! Caleb Hewitt made the catch, his second big catch of this drive.
Yeah, Hewitt made the big catch on 4th and 9 to keep the drive going and get the Hilltoppers out to midfield. And now Caleb Hewitt with a spectacular catch in the end zone. Henry takes that snap, rolls right, he knocks it in there, and the Hilltoppers a PAT away from tying this one up.
Interesting that they're going to go for the PAT here instead of going for 2 to win it.
The old adage, you play for the tie at home and the win on the road.
Kick is down, underway, and it is good with 17 seconds left to go. This game is knotted up at 24, and we've got a proud mom to our right.
The Hilltoppers are never out of a game. Absolutely not. It's been a tough second half for Chardon, but FBA gave them the football back with time left, and the Hilltoppers got there. And let's not forget the stand by the defense. The 3-and-out they forced to get the ball back to their offense, to give their offense one last chance to get down the field and tie this game. This is a big moment for the Hilltoppers.
My goodness, Ryan. Woo! We have one heck of a game right here. And now, there is another injured player down. It's Henry Olson, the big receiver who's headed to Clemson. We need to pause and take, Olson Henry. We need to pause and take a timeout here on GTV. If you have heart issues, this may not be the game to watch.
This has been an incredible game.
24-24.
Hilltoppers were on 4th and 9 with less than 2 minutes left, and the end of the game facing them. And Henry makes a big throw to Caleb Hewitt. And it's fitting that Caleb Hewitt ends up being the receiver to finish the drive as well with the touchdown in the end zone.
Olson Henry was very slow to walk off the field. He needed some assistance. Will that play a factor? We'll find out later on. But right now for the Hilltoppers, here's the mission. You have 17 seconds to keep FBA from scoring a point. Line drive kicks. It takes a bounce off a player who runs up near the 40-yard line. That time, it was Michael Vada, the linebacker, who secured it, brought it forward. 11 seconds left to go.
It'll be interesting to see what the how aggressive FBA is going to be here. 12 seconds left.
Well,
I would imagine, Matt, you're going to keep it on the ground. You don't want to throw an interception. I'd imagine you're going to keep it on the ground and be willing to play for the overtime.
Think about this, by the way. Ty Keller, their senior, threw for over 38 touchdowns and well over 2,500 yards last year. He's probably got the stronger arm. However, they're going to keep the sophomore in the game. 2 receivers to each side. Chardon cannot give up the big play here. They're looking to throw the sidelines, near side ball up in the air, nearly intercepted. Trey Liebhart, if he had a step less, would have picked that one.
Yeah, Liebhart overran that ball a little bit. Hewitt might have had a hand on it as well.
Boy, and that would have been...
And that's why I'm surprised they threw, Matt. I mean, that interception could have been run back for a game-ending touchdown. That's why I'm surprised. But they've been aggressive all day, so I shouldn't be surprised. should not be surprised. They've been aggressive the entire time.
8 seconds to go. They hand it off to Booker. And now the Hilltoppers just have to stop the big man. They do. He's out to about the 45.
It was Heath Fetchick who met him. Trey Liebhart came in from behind, and the Hilltoppers. This fourth quarter was a gut check, and they stepped up big, and they forced an overtime.
My goodness. I don't think anyone expected this game to be heading into OT today.
Well, we knew it was going to be a really close match. We knew it was going to be a hard-fought match. And that's the way it played out.
Folks, we're going to step aside. We've completed 4 quarters of play, and the score is tied at 24. When we come back, we will have overtime for you. Some free football here on GTV.
The Chardon Hilltopper Gridiron Club, in association with GTV, proudly presents Chardon Hilltopper Varsity Football. Today's game is brought to you by the Chardon Smile Center, Roniak Paving, Burr Funeral Home and Cremation Service, El Patron Mexican Grill and Cantina, Hazen Asphalt, Paving and Seal Coat, The Arms Trucking Company, Realtor Beth Felger at Keller Williams Realty, Patai and Mark F. Burr Funeral Homes, Dan McCaskey and Terry Combs, the McCaskey Team, Remax Traditions, The Junction Auto Family, Conic Law, LLC, Brock Construction, Precision Orthopedics, Ashes Mayfield Window Cleaning Company and the Chardon Athletic Boosters, and by GTV.
Welcome back, everyone, here to Chardon Memorial. We are about to embark on overtime. Matt Jaworski, Ryan Radke with you. And Ryan, it's been a few years since the Hilltoppers last played overtime.
Yeah, you're going to have to go back to the state championship game in 2020. Last time they played, won that one in double overtime.
Toppers begin with the ball on their own 20 and movement up front.
Henry thought it was encroachment. Lions think it was an illegal procedure. And it is encroachment.
We'll move the ball to the 15, so 1st and 5 now from the 15. Now remember, both teams get equal opportunities, or get a possession, I should say, with the football in this overtime. Both teams will start from the 20, although technically that penalty made it from the 15. Nonetheless, Bruce gets the call left side. Bruce down toward the 10 and knocked out of bounds.
Gives you a first down, gives you 3 more to work with. Nice run by A.J. Bruce.
Now do remember, no game, no play. The clock is being kept on the field at this point in time. Only the play clock, no game clock. Toppers 1st and goal now from the 9. Bruce going in motion. They'll give it to the big man toward the end zone. Shy. The fullback dive got him close.
Yeah, just short. Going to be 2nd and goal at the 1. I see
They did a nice job on that run.
I see Fetchick in the game right now. They've used him on the goal line tonight. Obviously, could always go with Alex Henry to pick up 1 yard.
Leo Columbi checking in as well. Toppers, 2nd and goal from the 1.
2nd and goal.
Henry under center, one man behind him. Bruce going in motion. Henry will hand the ball off in the end zone. Fetchick, touchdown, Toppers!
Oh, that was a great run there. You give the ball to Fetchick. Fetchick today turning himself into the goal line option for the Hilltoppers. That's his 2nd touchdown run.
And now, Joseph Evans will come out to kick. The PAT. Love the Tecmo Bowl graphics, by the way, on the scoreboard. Kick is underway. It is up, and it is good. So the Hilltoppers take a 31-24 lead, and now all the pressure is on First Baptist Academy. They will be heading toward the bleachers with the band and the crazies.
Yeah, it's a tough side of the field to play to if you're FBA.
Toppers making some noise. And Ryan, I do not see Olsen Henry coming out right now.
That's a huge loss to their offense. They're obviously not without weapons though, Matt. They've still got Jaden Pettit out there. They've still got Brooks without at running back. So they're not without weapons, but it's a big loss without Olsen Henry out there.
First time we've seen them, two backs in the backfield for Crossan. He's going to fake it, looking to throw over the middle. It's intercepted! The Hilltoppers win! The Hilltoppers win! Chardon extends the streak to 31 games, and it is the biggest win of the season! Oh my goodness!
Matt, we're never going to know who intercepted that football. That pile is too big, but that's a huge win for the Hilltoppers.
The little engine that could has.
And you're just going to remember, they were at 4th and 9 with the game on the line, and they made that big play. They get the big interception from the defense. And Matt, this is a young team that's working on coming together. Crucial moment for them in their development as a unit.
Folks, we need to take a timeout. When we come back, we'll have the postgame for you here on GTV.
The Chardon Hilltopper Gridiron Club, in association with GTV, proudly presents Chardon Hilltopper Varsity Football. Today's game is brought to you by the Chardon Smile Center, Roniak Paving, Burr Funeral Home and Cremation Service, El Patron Mexican Grill and Cantina, Hazen Asphalt, Paving and Seal Coat, The Arms Trucking Company, Realtor Beth Felger at Keller Williams Realty, Patai and Mark F. Burr Funeral Homes, Dan McCaskey and Terry Combs, the McCaskey Team, Remax Traditions, The Junction Auto Family, Conic Law LLC, Brock Construction, Precision Orthopedics, Ash's Mayfield Window Cleaning Company and the Chardon Athletic Boosters, and by GTV.
Well, fellas, you know I'm always honest, right? And this is what I don't know how good we are yet, but I know we got a lot of heart. And when a team has a lot of heart, anything is possible. I saw that tonight firsthand. Hot as hell out here, fellas. We battled. That's a really good football team. That's a team that's probably going to win a state title in Florida. So I'm extremely, I mean, that, what we get the ball with? 230. We're not known for our hurry up, right? You know what I mean, fellas? So that was gutsy. I know people were cramping. Defense, you were on the field most of the day, battling, fellas, and here we are. But now, well, no, I'm not going to say anything. But it's a quick turnaround. You know what I'm saying? Like, kind of a big game, but let's not talk about that yet.
Hey, guys, that was a team win, man. That was all phases of the game, a team win. We needed one of those. That wasn't one unit shined out over another unit. The team won that game. Everybody here fought to the end to win that game. A lot of heart. Proud of you guys. Way to go.
Hey, guys, God loves the wing T, right? Hey, more importantly, God loves the Hilltoppers. Great win, fellas. Amen. Alex Henry, great job. Defense, you're always lights out. I kissed Henry. Now I'm covered with sweat.
all over my body, all over my face. I smell. But it was well worth it. Logan wants to No. He's not kissing the Viking. I'm not kissing the Viking.
There's going to be a lot of good things in that film to learn from to get better in the next 6 days, right? A lot of things on that film to get better from.
Yes, sir.
I just have one thing. Cooper Felger saved you boys in my mind. He came up to me, he said, I trust everybody on this team. And I watched everybody trust everybody when it came down to it. I'm proud of you boys. And like Coach Paul said, God loves the Hilltoppers. Yeah. Wow.
No,
that was a
thank
battle.
you for blocking that extra point.
It's huge. There's so much to digest. I don't even know where to begin. I'm exhausted. Heath's fingers sideways. Real quick tweak, he's back in. I mean, we got heart here, fellas. We got to get better in a lot of spots, but we got heart. And with that, we're going to be a hard team to beat come week 11. And remember, like I think everyone in the stands talks about the elephant in the room, right? But we're 3-0. It's the only streak that matters. It really is. At the end of the day, what we do matters in week 11. You got me? That's what really matters. We want rings, not streaks. But I'll take the 3-0 streak. All right? Sir. Man, oh man. Who? Trey. Trey. Kissley.
Trey's a dog, I'm just saying.
Guys, when we can't pick someone, that's a good problem to have. Our kick, I mean, damn. Them pick it. Kissley! Yeah!
Skin the Beavers. What's the motto of the day? What? Skin the Beavers on 3, 1, 2, 3.
Ryan, I am still just shaking at this point in time from how this game ended.
It's an incredible win for the Hilltoppers. Extends the winning streak to 31. You know, Matt, they're back-to-back state champions, but every year it's a new unit. Coach Hewitt has said that to us multiple times in the young going of the season. This is a moment for this group to start to build on what their identity is. They come back from behind. I mean, they really dug it out when their backs were against the wall on 4th and 9. Down to their last play of the night, they make the big throw to Hewitt. Hewitt scores a touchdown. You come the other way, very quick work in the overtime to the touchdown by Fetchick, and then you get the big interception ended. Of course, defense, a big part of the identity, and you get the defensive interception on the first play FBA had in overtime to seal the victory.
When you look at this contest, the Hilltoppers faced a lot of adversity they have not necessarily faced this season. And you know what? They showed that they've got the moxie.
They came out on top, and ultimately on the offensive side of the ball, you're feeling good with Alex Henry. He's won a state championship. I keep saying it, but it's true. If he's leading that unit, good things are going to happen, and he led them to a victory tonight.
What a memorable game here at Chardon Memorial. It's been our pleasure to bring this to you here on GTV. The Hilltoppers with the win improved to 3-0 on the year. The winning streak extends to 31, and now the huge showdown next week with the Beavers.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun one. It's going to be another tough game. I'm expecting a low-scoring affair to get us things started in conference play.
Want to send a shout-out to our cameramen today, Spencer and Cash and Brett, who was keeping us back up and on the air at Mission Control. Also out to our director, Ryan Foster, and of course our executive producer, Dave Jevnikar. On behalf of my partner, Ryan Radke, I am Matt Jaworski. We wish you all the best, folks. Hilltoppers move to 3-0 on the year with a stunning 31-24 overtime victory.